how did you know who Santa really was? I'm telling you, whoever did this, they know who Santa is.
For real.
Damn, these guys are good, aren't they? Thank you, guys. That's funny. I love that stuff. Thank you for your cards and everything. Thank you so much.
It's the love that you're getting.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You know, these are the greatest people out there. They're helping themselves. They're getting well. They're helping others. You couldn't ask for a better group of people.
Healers.
Love people. I'm telling you. Yep, some of you test me a little bit, but that's okay. Thanks, Drew.
We test you every single day.
Yeah, I know. Look at that camera. This is a new camera we've got now because, remember, I did 3 hours the other day and it didn't work, so we went out and we spent some money.
I need a way to show the camera, so...
How are you going to show that big thing?
I'll get a picture of it.
You're going to hang it up on your shoulder like this, huh? That's pretty good, though.
I got to experiment with it earlier.
You did. Yeah. You did with Jorgita. That was pretty good. Thanks, Drew. Thank you. I hope you like that, Jorgita. She was there before, but this is what happens when you lose your way. You start adding things to your programs. And, of course, she had visited her parents, and that had some emotional drains and stuff, and so she's back walking. And she'll get a lot better. She's lifting her legs better. Even though she's thrusting herself to throw her legs out, she won't have to do that much longer. So that's pretty cool. It shows you, she came to us with numerous brain lesions, so many they couldn't count them. So when you see that lymph building up in your head and you start to feel the pressure, get it out. Because nothing ever fun comes with what she has to do to work herself back to Wellville. The fact that you can work yourself back to Wellville, that's what we have to teach this planet. You can work yourself. There's regeneration as there is degeneration. Dualistic world. We just don't have one side of the force. We have two sides of the force. One breaks you down, one builds you up. Remember that? So, she's on fruits, berries, and melons, and of course a little secret is alfalfa juice. I'm a little alfalfa freak. Far better than any wheat, barley. I mean, those things are crap compared to alfalfa juice. When you compare wheatgrass juice and alfalfa juice, you can throw the wheatgrass away. The alfalfa is the power plant of all plants. Like I said, we used to raise horses, and my sister used to barrel race them, and we always used alfalfa to build muscles on the horses. I had asked for these eyes on YouTube, and so I appreciate you sending them to me. Let me see who this is. This is Brianna, 18 years old. Extreme teeth degeneration, discoloration, sensitivity since beginning this diet. Uncomfortable bedwetting since beginning this diet. No kidding, huh? Yep. Definitely pituitary involved there, dear one. So you might want to strengthen bladder and pituitary. Let me take a look at this here and see what's going on, because the program, fruits, berries, and melons, they don't cause problems. They expose problems. And as you can see, you can regenerate neurologicals any day of the week with them. So when you start to see that, and I hope you don't mind, but this is a public forum, so I'm going to show your eyes here so you all can see her eyes here. All right, I hope you can see this. This is a brand new camera. See how these eyes look green? Well, they're not green, they're blue. But because the lymph system is so thick, notice the size of the pupil? That's a neurological weakness, and you see all the nerve rings in her eyes. This lymph of hers is so full that it's all in your head, sweetheart. It's all through you. You should have blue eyes, and they're green here. And that's just subacute stages of this lymph. You got a little bit of drug deposits here and there, but still not too bad. Up in the shoulder, ear, right side. But this is significant. You've got a lot of acidosis, sweetheart, and that's just what you're talking about. Acids rob the body of calcium. You've got nerve rings. You've got pretty good genes, though, I have to tell you. Kidneys, both sides a little bit. Definitely got a little bladder going on, little vaginal wall. You might want to douche with some Hilal tea and say one time a day, 2 weeks. one time PM for 2 weeks. But you want to get this out of your head. You want to work on your bowels. You have a little prolapsing of the transverse, little pocketed areas perhaps in the ascending, but you really want to get this lymph cleaned up. Your skin's down just a little, not too bad, but you've got pretty good genes. You can work yourself out of this anytime. Let me see what else is going on. Beginning to start parathyroid glandular, causing red burning eyelids and hair loss. Well, if your parathyroid gland formula is causing this, if you think that's the case, which I can't imagine it even thinking of that, but if it's the case, you'd want to stop it. Extreme weight loss, that's for sure. Has alkaline saliva, that's good. Skin is blotchy and scars easy. Yeah, I mean, look at this. You got weak skin and your lymph system is really backed up. You should have blue eyes and they're green. That's really yellow in there if you look real close. And that's subacute. Born under 5 pounds. Mom was bipolar, malnourished, and on drugs. Heroin, cigarettes, possibly more for beginning. Oh, poor thing. Has a history of depression and anxiety, as well as eating disorders. Anorexia at age 7. Experienced physical and emotional abuse as child. Not sure if that influences physical health. Absolutely does, honey. Oh, so much so, because remember, your emotional health is tied to your adrenal glands. Even though emotions are not physical, still they have a physical presence through the adrenal glands. So, you know, when you start to have this much trauma in your life as a baby and forth, then it sets the stage for shutting you down, because you have pretty good genes, believe this or not. Wasn't sure in reading your case, but you've got pretty good genes here, and you can fix yourself up real nice here, but you still want to get up there. I don't know why you're having this problem. When you have problems like this, you really want to hook with one of our practitioners or counselors so they can see what you're doing wrong. So that's what you have to look at. And of course, we do use herbs. And if you use inferior fruits, you get into that sort of thing. So I don't know, you'd have to work with a counselor as far as I'm concerned with that. Your saliva is alkaline, that's good for the teeth. I truly appreciate your request to see my eyes and have attached them to the flash drive and labeled them right and left. I am completely discouraged because I cannot seem to stop my teeth from degenerating on this diet no matter what I try. Yeah, but I can see why, honey. I mean, your lymph system is literally backed up head to toe. Let me see if I can get real quick here and show you something. I'll show you guys what her eyes should look like, and show her what her eyes should look like, and what they look like now. All right. Well, let me show you this, because this is the acute side. She's in the subacute side. This is a dairy farmer. See all that white and that blue eye? That's lymph. Hers is yellow instead of white, so it gives a green cast to the eye. This is the way they should be. I don't know if you can see the two differences. I don't have anybody here to help me, but this thick white in this eye is lymph. So when we put this up to her eye, see the thickness? Let me see here if I can help do this. I hope I can get this. All this thickness in here, this yellow stuff, that's what's chewing her teeth up, chewing her bones up, chewing the body up, to be honest with you. This is what you should look like, sweetheart, without the sulfur. But that's what you should look like. That should be your eyes right there. And that's where you're at. So you can't even see your fibers in your eye because there's so much lymph here. So that's what's chewing your teeth up. And you won't stop that until you get this lymph out of there. And it doesn't matter how much fruit you eat, how much raw food you do, how much herbs you do, until you get to the cause of your problem. How do you expect to change the outcome? You have to work on this. You know, the problem in our society is that we're so used to thinking that you can buy something or take something that'll cure one's ills. And that does not exist. This is a thing that you create and you have to uncreate. That's the problem. Things aren't just, oh, I ate something bad and now I'm really sick and have problems. There's a real reason why people have what medical doctors call diseases. And there's no such thing as diseases. You create everything through chemistry and physics. So this is why, sweetheart, you're not getting to the teeth, because you're not getting up here. And I don't know what your eyes looked like before, but you now have a before. Now your goal is to get into that lymph and dig it out. GI tract, definitely see it. Definitely an issue. There's some malabsorption going on. There's a ring there, but I don't see real heavy, thick malabsorption in the wall, which is good. A little genetics in the heart, perhaps. You need to strengthen that. Could be in the left breast. But don't get discouraged. Get more focused. Find out what you're doing wrong. If you're doing anything wrong, you might not be doing a thing wrong. You're just exposing what's going on inside of you, honey. You're so acidic, you can see this. Your lymph is really backed up. Here's the other problem: is you got many nerve rings, and you see how big your pupil is. That's a central nervous system weakness. I don't like any of that. Matter of fact, when I get back here to your cerebellum, you've got a weakness on the right side of the cerebellum, you got a weakness on the left side, and partially in this left ear. That you have the setup here, just like Gergita here. You have the setup for MS big time. And you want to get your butt in gear on this one, because you've got to get in there and get this out of here. If you believe there's going to be something that can treat and stop this, you're wrong. You cannot stop unless you remove the acids out of the body that's breaking your teeth down. But it's not just the teeth that's being broken down in you. You've got to realize that. Your whole body's involved here, honey. Let me see. Along with this, I have developed uncomfortable bedwetting since beginning this diet. So, interestingly, exposed to weakness. That is pituitary, honey. And if I look at the right side, I see a little pituitary, a left side a little bit, but you've got so much lymph around the pituitary, I'm surprised it's even breathing. So, this is the lymph. You've got to drain your sinuses. Try to get yourself a cold and flu-like symptom. Get yourself sick somehow to get the cold and flu. That'll start draining and cleaning your head out. Boy, but I would candle my ears. I would do everything, hot and cold compresses and everything, because you could pick up that symptom of equilibrium dizziness as well. So you want to get that handled. The nice thing about it is you got pretty good genes. You've got some beginning of radius solaris, but they're not deep. When I go back to cooked vegan food, both my enamel loss, tooth deterioration, and bedwetting stop. Isn't that interesting? So the body stops its healing. You know, you have to understand that cooked food is not healthy over raw food. There's absolutely no way on this green earth that cooked food is better for you than raw food. Those that think that can live in that world if they want. But those of us that understand the vitality and vibrancy of the raw will always go there, dear. So it's just showing you how active that detox is, and it's showing you the weaknesses that you have, because you can't fix anything eating cooked food. And so you can't move your lymph, you can't fix anything. And let me tell you something, if you think your teeth are stopping deteriorating by eating cooked food, you're gravely mistaken. That does not stop you from losing your teeth. Eating cooked food, come on, man. That's where people lose their enamel most of the time. I want desperately to clean my body and have gone to all lengths to try. You need to connect with a practitioner, sweetie. That's all I can tell you. I've trained them all in the art of this, so you just need someone to put your feet properly on the ground, because you haven't been through our thing, have you? I mean, I see your chart here. You've had some things going on here. But you really need to get on a program and really get yourself focused. You understand, I see you've got the level 1. So honey, you understand, you just got to dig in. You got to first make sure your fruits are ripe as possible. 2, if you're doing the pineapples and doing the acid fruits, get rid of them. Except for fresh oranges that are really sweet, and the citruses you want tree riped. You know, you want to look at your citruses. If your mouth is alkaline, perfect. That'll just take some time to stop all this. But again, you've got to address your pituitary, because if you're having bedwetting, it's exposing a weakness that I see in your eyes already. And eating cooked food doesn't stop the weakness, doesn't stop that sort of thing from existing. The raw food is just active and exposes weaknesses and everything else. People sometimes mistake that for getting worse by eating raw, and it's like, excuse me? That's how you rebuild tissue, is the living, not the dead. Eating dead doesn't do anything but drain your energy and stop the body from healing itself. And that's what you're seeing here. You mistake it for, oh, I'm doing better because I'm eating cooked food. No, not even close. But I can understand your frustration. You need to contact a practitioner to help you. That's all I can say. The embarrassment of not being able to hold my bladder, no kidding. But that is a pituitary problem, so you really want to be on the endocrine glands. You want to get on some herbs to fix some things here, sweetheart, because you have good genes. You got to fix up your bowels, fix up your nervous system, because woo-hoo-hoo, you got big pupils. And get this lymph dealt with, because you're thick. You look like a dairy farmer's eyes. So all I can say is that until you get that lymph moving and your eyes start turning blue, you're heavily involved lymphatically. I don't know what your eyes look like first, but you're pretty lymphatically involved. That's all I can go by, you know. So I appreciate that. I even tried a grape fast with the first 2 weeks of the 14-week protocol, and they burnt my tongue and caused the enamel of my teeth to become rough and degenerate all within a week. You know what? You've got some serious acidosis problems, honey. It wasn't the grapes that took off this enamel. That, not even close. That calcium's base, and so is grapes. You don't have that. In chemistry, you only have the draw from acids to base. So this is, impossibility. But it can expose what's going on with you. That's all I can tell you. It can expose. And to burn your tongue, you have to be extreme, honey, on the acid side. You have to start looking at your body, not the diet. It isn't the diet, it's your body. And you got to fix this. You might want to step back to some green drinks and go on a green drink fast for a while and spend some time on some green drinks. And I would say at least a month or two, and get this acidosis down to some manageable level. Because if you don't have that, you're not going to stop this decay in the human body. Now, if you're getting your saliva alkaline, that's a huge, huge plus. But it'll just take time to rebuild the teeth and stuff. It takes a while to rebuild teeth and all this stuff. So, but when you take fruit in like that, grapes particularly, and it burns your tongue, that's extreme acidosis, sweetie, and you don't want to live long in that world, or you won't have any teeth, any hair, anything like that. The fruit is just exposing the truth. That's all I can tell you. We regenerate with that food. But until you get your body halfway lymphatic up and cleaned up, you're going to struggle with this. I don't know what to say about it. And all you guys that are working with others, you have the same problem. She could have a tumor in her brain and one in her liver, and you can pull the one out of her liver quicker than you can the brain. Why? Because it's closer to the kidneys. When you start stacking years of lymph stagnation in the body, and you've got it all head to toe, your lymph system looks the same at the top of the head as it does in your feet. So you've been backed up lymphatically probably since birth, no question about it. Your adrenal glands have definitely been down since birth. You have some genetics in the pituitary. When you have bedwetting, and this goes to children that have bedwetting, it's a pituitary gland, guys. But this is important because either her mother had depression, all that's in parathyroid. I get to the parathyroid gland, I don't see a lot going on except heavy lymph. Maybe on the left side we have a little minor parathyroid weakness, but get to the pituitary. Remember how the pituitary controls everything? Absolutely. So when you have bedwetting and you're seeing the teeth and all this, you know that the pituitary is sitting down on her parathyroid, and especially if she had depression. The other thing with an eye like this is extreme fungus. Honey, you could have high fungal loads as well with this. You have your lip is, you have green eyes and they should be blue. And that's all I can say. You just have heavy. This is subacute levels. At least they're not brown. When you have blue eyes and you've got brown in your eyes, that's chronic. That's another level still. So at a very decent level, but you want to get in and start detoxifying. If you're that acidic, I put myself on green drinks and the sweet fruits and the subacid fruits. Stay away from the acid fruits. But you even can't handle the subacid fruits because you said grapes here make your tongue burn. That's extreme acidosis, sweetie. So you want to get on some green drinks. And alfalfa is a big alkalizer. So I would do alfalfa juice with parsley, beet, dandelion greens. Those are the minimal what you want in there. You want some beet, bulbs. You want some dandelion greens if you can get them this time of year. Parsley. Alfalfa. You can put celery. You can put whatever else you want in there. But you got to get your body alkalized, because too much is going on in your case here. You know, when you're burning like this, holy crap, I don't know how much water you're holding either, but you get this acidic, you're getting the whole water all over the place. And what do they call it when you hold water around the heart? Congestive heart failure, pulmonary edema. It's all relative to the area that you're highly acidic in. But in your case, it's head to toe. So you just have to get in there. You got good genes. You get in there and you get this lymph moving. But with you, you're going to have to use the herbs, and you're going to have to use green drinks and minimal fruit for a while until you can get past that doorway of extreme acidosis and then head up into the fruit line. That's what I'd be doing. Oh, wait a minute. My saliva is alkaline, and I have been rinsing my mouth with baking soda after each meal. Well, that's not a bad idea. That might be why you see some alkalinity. But test your saliva away from bicarbonate. In other words, miss a day and check your saliva the next day and see what happens. You know, you maintaining an alkalinity is one thing. Using a bicarbonate to pop it up there, see if you really have turned that, because your lymph is telling me another story, sweetie. Your lymph is in your mouth, your jaws, everywhere. And that's telling me a different story. So I would continue what I'm doing. I wouldn't overuse it, because the fear is, you know, losing the production of it in the bile duct. So I'd be real careful about overusing it. I tried to take a pair of thyroid glandular, and all that happened was the eyelids burned and were red, and my hair began to fall out. Strange. Can't tell you why that is. You know, I have tried everything that was suggested to me, and with no results. I feel completely and utterly helpless. Don't feel completely and utterly helpless, because there's no such thing. There's always a way around things. All right? If you can't step on the top of the plate and take off, okay, start lower. Start lower on the totem pole. So lower is to start out with green drinks. I wouldn't eat vegetables, because you need to detox this lymph system. So I would start out with green drinks, minimal detox, but at least it's going to help to bring some degree of hydration to you. I would get on the herbs. Your focus was good with a 14-week protocol. You get moving down that road, or hook up and have Marcy or Attila or Jen help you. Because you have to work yourself out of this. Don't feel hopeless. You don't have to be hopeless, but you need some help. You can't just do it over videos when you're getting frustration points like this. And then we'll help you get out of that trouble there. I went to an iridologist to look at my eyes, and he said he has never seen such a large pupil. That's just neurological weakness, sweetheart. That's part of why you're seeing bedwetting. And this is hooked to the hypothalamus and the pituitary and all of this. Even back here where you connect, you're weak a little bit back here in the cerebellum. So, but this is just your genes, and don't freak out, honey, because you've got good body here. You've just got to get your kidneys, adrenals, and your doorways opened. So whatever it takes. And that's why I'd say we use all this every day. We work with people like this, and so we have our little techniques and our little things to help you. So I definitely hook up with that, sweetie, because you don't want to suffer like this. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with my symptoms, but I am just all ready to give up. I'm ready to give up. I can't find anyone to help me, and because I'm a college student with no money, I have nothing to offer. You know, Brianna, that's okay. We help people here, honey. I'm only 18 and want to create a healthy life for myself. Not only do you want to keep a healthy life for yourself, sweetheart, your future babies, though you've got to do this. So kick back to green drinks. Kick back to green drinks. They're more gentle. If you have to start like this, they're more gentle on you, because you have to break through this somehow. Even if you just went on a banana diet, you've got to break through this somehow, where you can get these kidneys to filter, and you can get this lymph on the run, get some hydration going on. And it's going to be some work yet in front of you. So I won't lie to you, you've got pretty backed up lymph. I'm amazed that the iridologist didn't mention your lymph system. Interesting. I'm not even sure if you will get these pictures or letters. Honey, I asked you for them, didn't I? So, you know, we got a good staff here that helps us, sweetie. So you'll be okay. But that's what I would be doing if I was you. If I can't get to the fruits and they're going to do it, I'm going to step down to the green drinks. But you have to detox. You have to get your lymph system straightened around, or there isn't anything you can change. So, but when you eat grapes and it burns your tongue, oh, that's extreme acidosis, sweetheart. And that's concernful. Extremely concernful, and I know you are too. And you're only 18 years old. That's what I'm saying. Your mom probably, most of this you got in your mom before you even came out. So it's enough to say is, get on the green drinks, get on some sub-acid, whatever fruits you can tolerate. Apples are probably pretty good. Maybe some sweet dates and figs, whatever, but you've got to get it to where you can detox. Sweet fruit and greens are minimal detox, but at least it could be enough to get you going and to start breaking some doors down so you can kick up the speed a little bit. Or have us write you up a protocol or something. I think the 14-week will do it, but you want to get on the brain and nerve, because you see with all that nerve weakness and all that big pupil, that's how you pee, that's how your sphincters close. Neurological controls everything. Sphincters and everything. So your nervous system, that's what he meant by the big pupil. Your nervous system's down. Well, the big pupil, to me, isn't the autonomic. Now, it could be. There's not that much research. But I always consider a large pupil like this the central. But you do have cerebellum involvement. Could be coming from that. So try those things, honey, and get on that thing and see how you do. Call in here and we'll be happy to help you. We're not going to let you hang out there. But you also got to look at everything you're doing, all the supplements you're taking, everything you're doing to make sure you're not doing things that are antagonistic to getting well. See, so I never know, because people do a lot of different things today. So I have to have the whole picture. And then I can help you, and we can put your feet on the path and get you cleaned up, and you'll be good. But you want to do this. You're right. At 18 years old, are you kidding me? And very few people can help you. You just got to, you have to back up. We got to back up and go a little slower. It's okay. There's no crime in doing that at all. And you'll be okay, Brianna. Don't give up. That means they won, and they didn't win. You're going to win. But there's work to do. And sometimes, and this is what I was saying, the detoxification is an art. And you have to learn to know when to fold them and when to hold them. And that's what I'm talking about. You have to know when to pull back a little bit, when to get on the green drinks, when not to use the green drinks. This is the art of detoxification. This is why we have our classes. To teach you a little more about the art of helping people that are more in these advanced states of acidosis. Now, she's obviously not in a chair or anything yet, but you've got an MS case working here. When you guys as practitioners look at an eye and you see a cerebellum involvement, heavy lymph, especially in the head area, you see the adrenals and kidneys down, you know immediately that's a walk toward MS, especially with the nerve rings and all that. And that's why you want to stop them. So you don't have to start from ground zero like Jurgita. Attila gave me this, and I'm going to address this. He just highlighted some things, so this is a 3-page letter, so I'm just going to highlight here some things that was highlighted for me to talk about. This gentleman's name is Ben. Always did like the name Ben. It was like a proud name. My name is Ben. I like that. 22 years young and from Germany. I have been dealing with chronic Lyme. You notice how the ticks must have traveled the world over, huh? For 8 years now. So that means he's 14 years old when they diagnosed him with the tick bite. Yeah, the symptoms, which are very debilitating, are as constant presence, including severe brain fog, confusion, depression, memory loss, chronic fatigue. I lost almost everything as a result of this and wouldn't be on this planet anymore without the support of my parents. Good parents. Yep. The condition I'm suffering from isn't officially recognized. People like me are left alone and faced with absurd medical bills. Oh boy, do I know what you're talking about, my friend. Do I ever know what you're talking about? Oh, I feel for you, my friend. But I have been working with several naturopathic practitioners and MDs over the last couple of years without much relief, because their focus is wrong. You know, if you're not focusing on regeneration, through the world of detoxification, understanding why you're doing all of that, then you have no clue. You're treating symptoms. And when you treat symptoms, either you're a naturopath or you're a God. You ain't going to be that successful. That's why God doesn't treat symptoms. Only man does. So, that's very important to realize that this guy has been very serious. So, remember before, fibromyalgia, lupus, and Lyme's. What's the common thread between all of them? They're the same thing. They're systemic. I heard you over there. Acidosis. Exactly what it is. Systemic acidosis. Doesn't matter what factors it affects in the blood. Who cares? It's still systemic acidosis. It's your lymph system backed up. And if you don't get this lymph system going, you can clean all this out of you. We get Lyme's in here every day because it seems like the ticks are all over the place. So, it's not difficult, but you have to detox the lymphatic system, meaning, and you're young, so you know kidneys and adrenals already. Look at Brianna here. She's 18 years old. Take a look at the lymph system in her eye. Already at 18 years old, she's got a mountain to climb. Her genes are fairly good, but she's got a mountain, as much as we can see of them. Because remember, she's got that thick, subacute layer of lymph. That's nothing but extreme acidosis. When you eat something like a grape that's sweet and your tongue burns, that's extreme acidosis, and you want to get that. That's your tongue, mouth, and she's wondering why she's losing her teeth. You can't just take some bicarbonate, swish your mouth out, and then check your pH and say, hey, look, it's alkaline. So there's just some work to do, guys. So, when we roll up our sleeves, and this is good because tough cases are tough cases. Never give up. There's always a way to work around that. If you have to pull off the fruit and go to green drinks, you pull off the fruit and go to green drinks. I don't have a problem with that. It's just that we work in some of these very advanced areas, and so we use the fruits. But when the fruits are too strong for them, I do that, back right down. It's no big deal to me to back down like that. Good green drinks are powerful. Let's see, I'm at a point where I have to make the decision if I continue to follow the intellectual approach of alternative medicine. Well, first of all, that would be medical. Alternative medicine is medical, not naturopathic. We are the original healers on the planet. So we're not alternative. Medical's alternative because if we can't get you, they're the only ones left with surgeries and things like that. If they try to treat, then you're in real trouble. So you only go to them when you're seriously in trouble. And that's for surgeries and ERs and stuff like that. You don't have to spend your parents' savings. That's the problem with all this. Now, just like you said, you're left with a whole stack of medical bills or naturopathic bills. You don't have to spend all your parents' money. You've got to understand what your problem is. And you about went through every gate on the farm there is, so it's time you go through the true gate, the proper gate of wellness, and understand how you get well, man. And until you move your lymph system and you get filtering, get your adrenals up and all that, we're all gonna suffer. If you can't remove the cause, you can't get well. You can feel better by trying to treat it, or you can put yourself even worse by trying to treat it. So really, this is just realizing how you create all this stuff, what it is, and how you get rid of it. And that's what all these videos are on. And when you learn the simplicity of this, now sometimes like Brianna, it's going to be some work for her. The simplicity of it's easy to understand. The intellectual side of it's easy to understand. But roll up your sleeves and get busy because that's the only thing out there left. If you find something else, call me, let me know. So you don't want to give up, man. You don't have to spend your parents' money. But I would get focused on some herbs, get my kidneys and my adrenals up, because if you don't do it that way, I don't know how you get well. I'll be honest with you. I've been 43, 44 years in this field. I don't know how you get well if you don't focus on your lymph system and acidosis and that. You don't. I didn't in the early years till I learned. I had about the same success. Well, I'm a raw foodist. A lot of naturopaths are not raw foodists. That's what you have to understand also. That I came through the doorway of fruitarian and natural hygiene. A lot of people don't come to health through that doorway. And if you don't, then you don't get vitalism. You don't know what being vital is. You become a Dr. Jensen, who treated symptoms, basically. But he didn't know any better either. Because that's the typical thinking. And we all are mind writers, so when you use the mind, you have to here in creation. it'll lock you into thought forms that hard to break. And so we all keep following the same philosophies and principles. Urine therapy circles around, diatomaceous earth circles around, all this crap circles around. And it'll continue to circle around until somebody blows these myths out of the water. And that's what we're doing, is blowing some of this crap myths out of the water. Not true. And fact is, you've been to all these people and haven't changed a bit. So you really want to dig in, bro. You got to get your kidneys filtering. We talk about it all the time. This is factual. You don't get your kidneys filtering, you don't get improvement. And Brianna, it's the same thing with you too. You don't get your kidneys filtering, how do you expect to get well? That's the problem in the first place. So you got to do this. And you younger guys have a little bit more of an issue because you're more genetically involved, sadly to say. But you can fix these things. I don't have these kind of problems here. But we work with our clients closer, so, if you're really bad like this and you can't seem to get help, hook up to a practitioner here, guys, or someone out there. One of the YouTubers are really good at what they do. Some of you guys are getting really good at what you do. And that means more healers around the world ready to help people like this, because he has no one to help him. He's been to several naturopathic practitioners. They couldn't help him. That makes me want to throw up. That's just my point. That's just my point. It makes me want to throw up. You go to a naturopath, that's when you found truth. Not anymore. So we are a new breed of healers, and that's what I'm trying to build in you guys, is a new breed of healers. And the nice thing about some of these cases, even the tough ones, you're going to have them. You're going to have tough ones. It's hard to move. Others, easy. It's just a variety. And there's a multitude of reasons, from not only genetics, the degree of lymph involvement, but the degree of emotional suppression and a lot of other things. A lot of people have rough beginnings. A lot of women are raped by their family members. And there's a lot of people go through a lot of rough things in their earlier childhood. So that trauma lays heavy in there. This is a good level to get rid of it too. For those souls that have gone down this road, don't keep making karma. End it. End it now. Get yourself free of this level. And the only way to do that is start getting detached, start pulling back, working in the now, forget mind riding. You don't need to ride the mind so much anymore. What do you need? They have the belief, who is this now? The parallels between your explanations of the cause of disease, lymphatic congestion through systemic acidosis, loss of kidney filtration, and compromised endocrine glands leads to a buildup of cellular waste, environmental toxins and acids, which sets the stage for bacterial infections, inflammation, and cancer. And the opinion of the leading doctors in the field of Lyme disease is pretty interesting. They have the belief that not the infection itself causes the condition, but a compromised immune system through a buildup of environmental toxins, heavy metals, pesticides, mold, and toxins. Oh, really? Amazing, isn't it? Caused by compromised elimination systems, genetic weaknesses, parasites, and candida, result of toxicity. Exposure to electromagnetic fields, emotional trauma, and interfering problems like dental infections, scars, and chronic tonsillitis. Well, all of those all of the things just mentioned are all lymphatic problems. All of the lymphatic problems, from dental infections to scars to chronic tonsillitis, that's all lymphatic stuff. The problem is that we blame our immune system for not being able to deal with this. Oh, really? We put in our body every day foods that don't burn in our system properly. We put in dirty fuel every day, all of our lives. We put it in fuel that builds up proteins in the body, way too many proteins. We eat foods that causes mucus in the body, which is foreign proteins by far. So we consume all this, and then we wonder why we suffer, and then we have, all these explanations like this, which is all true, but not the causative factor. Acids are the cause. Everything is chemistry. So the causative factor on your side is definitely acidosis. But it's easy to understand when you understand that the body has 100 trillion cells, and that cells eliminate acid waste, besides all the other acid involvements, all your breakdown of your Krebs cycles and all that, all these metabolitic cycles causes acids to be released at all these levels. So it's all understandable. It's understanding the kidney connection to that and how you drain that out. Exposure to electromagnetic fields, it goes on and on and on. While some patients make a full recovery this way, others have to deal with, the state-of-the-art protocols target every single aspect of the equation. Well, all I can say, I don't know where you're getting at here. If you want to go their way, well, please go over their way. If you think the medical doctors can cure this up, which is, they've been treating this for how many years, you go ahead. But I can just tell you, good luck, Since Lyme seems to be involved in Alzheimer's, MS, Parkinson's, and autism, these conditions are probably very similar. Oh, really? Absolutely, my friend. See what you're saying? These are all very similar. That's the thing. The joke. The joke is everything's caused by the same, guys. You have to reverse your lifestyle. Some people are curable and others are not, my friend. That's bullcrap. You might have more involved lymph system that you've got to work a little harder. You might have more endos down. Who knows? Everybody's different in that way. But Alzheimer's, what causes Alzheimer's? Amyloid plaque. Is that what they call it? Amyloid plaque, right? What's amyloid plaque? Same thing as mucoid plaque. It's proteins and mucus, all encased around a cell. When you get the fact that we're consuming protein way out of our category, and that our immune system is a mucus system. They just blame our immune system, and that's what gets me, is they always blame our bodies for the problems. Well, you can partly blame that in a way in genetics, absolutely. But look at the causative factor even of genetics. No one can get away from lifestyles. And when you burn dirty fuel like the human has, you've got toxicity in the body. But toxicity is a funny word because basically you have a lot of acids building up in the body from just cell waste. Most of the toxicity people call toxicity is just cell poop. The cell poop. We've got some heavy metals and maybe some, what's heavy metals? They're in everything. But we might have some pesticides, neurotoxins and things like that. No question about that. Mercury from the teeth, all this sort of thing. Absolutely. But how do you get all that out of there? There's only one way. You can't chelate it out of there, that's obvious. You detox it out of there. But you see how they're all the same? Even this guy's saying they're all similar? Because they're all similar. They all have the inflammatory process. Well, the inflammation is a natural immune response. That isn't a disease. Inflammation is a natural immune response to what? And so if you blame pathogens for the problem, and this is another joke on them, is blaming pathogens. All right, so fungus is due to toxins in the body, right? We covered enough of why the body has fungus in it and what the fungus community is involved in on this planet. Bacterium the same way. So if you create food for the microbes, you're always going to have microbes, but you're always going to have microbes in the body. I don't know what people are thinking, but every animal on the planet has microbes. Matter of fact, a lot of the animals in nature have worms in them symbiotically. So, I don't know, I don't know. What has been your experience with treating these severe conditions of Lyme in particular? Very well, we don't have a problem not winning these cases. So I don't know what you're talking about. We don't have a problem at all. When you address the cause of these problems, you don't have any problems fixing them. But if you're living out on some plane somewhere. But going back to what you're saying about they believe this similar that all these, then why don't they fix them? See, it's one thing to say these things. It's another thing to have proof that they're fixing it. And I've never seen a medical doctor yet cure Lyme's or fibromyalgia or lupus or any of these systemic acidosis problems. This is systemic acidosis, systemic lymph backing up in the body, and there's only one way to eliminate this. But we had plenty of lupus, Lyme's, fibromyalgia. We get them every day. Just the nature of the beast. Matter of fact, Brianna, I'm amazed you don't have some systemic, like fibromyalgia symptoms. You have to be careful about getting fibrocystic breast and all that with this too, because this is all acidosis, and when your lymph system is bad, and who is this I'm talking to on this paper here? I don't see a name, but it's enough to say that. I don't see any name on this. I have been on a paleo-type diet myself, although with less protein and fat, with a high focus on raw vegetables. My former IBS symptoms, bloating, pain caused by candida and parasites. It's funny. that people are so, I no offense, young man, but you're often a little bit on some of the things you're saying. You listen to the wrong people. My former IBS symptoms, which was called bloating and pain caused by candida and parasites, you wish. You only wish IBS was caused by those. If IBS was caused by them, you could get rid of them so easy. It's not even funny. You're done. Boom. No. IBS is so much more involved. When you claim that, you're badly mistaken, my friend. These are opportunists. These are like the wild animals that when someone kills an animal, the opportunists, they go and share some of the meat. They have no causative factors unless you get some worms and stuff in there chewing on your bowel wall. No, this is just telling you why you have your Lymes, or what they call Lymes, which is bullshit. Right here it just tells you have systemic acidosis, your lymph system's backed up interstitially in your gut wall. That's your IBS. I'm much more serious than parasites and candida. Give me a break. So are gone as long as I stick to foods low in carbohydrates. So what the problem is this is kind of like an ulcer. You have an ulceration in the body, and when you don't eat, it hurts like hell. When you eat, you can't feel it anymore. Even eating the food that causes the ulcer, you can't feel it anymore. It feels good. But when you stop eating, that pain comes back in. Same thing, bro. Same thing. It's not that they create it. You stay on a protein diet, good luck. That's all I'm going to tell you. You'll never get rid of any of this on a protein diet. These are the things that causes these things. So you're off on a few things here, man. The other thing that holds me back is that I can't afford to get worse. I'm scared of losing weight. My weight isn't, okay. You just have to do whatever you have to do, bro. All I can tell you is there's only one way to win this game. And I suggest if you want us to help you, you follow along with Attila. I think Attila's working with you. And get yourself focused. You can't fear anything. If you fear losing weight, you fear doing this, then enjoy your pain. Because you're not going to get well. You can't get well treating, you can't get well taking protein diets. You have to re-understand. There's enough videos here for you to re-understand what you're talking about. And I suggest you start watching them. Because you're off point here, and people are somehow getting you off point. And this is what's out there. This is the crap that's out there, guys. No, we'll blame the candida for the IBS. Oh, don't you wish? Don't you wish? IBS is so much more serious. So much more serious, guys. You have to start getting with this concept of an understanding of the lymph system being systemic, and that it deals with the acid side of chemistry, and that your kidneys and adrenals are the main players of this system. And if you're not filtering, you're not getting rid of cellular waste, or any parasitic waste that might happen in the lymph nodes or in other tissues. Carbohydrates, when you're going on fruits, they just expose the truth, my friend. That's all it is. Just like with Brianna, they just expose the truth. And if you can't ride the ride, then you kick back. You have to kick back to a certain extent. That's why you use herbs for different things. You use herbs for candida. You can use herbs to help you through these things. But it's getting to understanding really what's up. That if you don't want to change, then we can't help you. Because I only help people that can make changes in their world. This is Kelly. Hello, Kelly. Pretty picture. Hi, I've been vegan for 6 months and somebody told me my eyes were turning from my normal green to gray. I don't know that was possible, but they directed me to your site. Yeah. Well, I'm going to say they're probably turning more blue, but you're seeing it look a little whitish first. That's your lymph system. And we just showed you eyes that were green that need to be blue. And it's just that different levels of toxemia and weaknesses change the eye colors to match that. And that's a good thing because it helps a reader to look at that. So that's a good sign, honey. That means you're clearing your lymph system. You want that. And so you definitely you have blue eyes, I can tell you already. Green is blue. So it was interesting, we showed you some green eyes. I'm wondering, is gray considered a natural eye color since it's similar to blue? No, it's blue. And it'll all go to blue. It'll move to blue. As you keep honking on that lymph system, your eyes will get blue, blue, blue. And I go, why you change that? But wait a minute. I thought Ellen, the great Bernard Jensen's stepdaughter, who we don't want to tell you what he thought of her, She knows. And now I got in a nice eye chart from Dr. Jensen with revisions by Insult. Someday I'm going to write a letter and tell her what Dr. Jensen really thought of her, and this is why he didn't want to give anything to Art. And just happened just what he thought would happen. She's defaming his name and everything else. Ellen, if you want to do a new iridology chart because you don't believe in his way, you believe in the German iridology way, which shows you're not a good healer from that point, then you have your own chart out. Don't take Dr. Jensen's chart, because that's regurgitating. That shows you're nothing but ego. And I'll come out with charts then. Kelly, all right now. Yeah. BTW, I used to not be able to walk from the inflammation of my slipped lumbar segment. Now I feel I'm in somebody else's body. I walked across town the other day. Amazing results. Currently I'm trying pinhole glasses for my eyes. Yeah, we had those too. There's the Bates, and then there's something else I had here. But to tell you the truth, use the eye wash topically and internally. It'll start cleaning and enhancing and really start getting up in the head area. Start cleaning your cerebellum, get your bowels cleaned up, and it just gets better, sweeter, better, and better, and better, and better, and better, Kelly. Better and better and better and better and better and better and better. It's funny how some people can break through easier than others. It just shows you the karma that others have to deal with. So that poor guy has to deal with some karma there. But if you hold straight and true and you have someone work with you, you'll work through there. But if you go here and here and here and here, that's just what you get. And I don't work with people that do that anymore. It's just hard on everybody, you know. Matthew. Hey, Matthew. Can you explain much about nightshades? I want to know more from you about them. Excuse me. I've been talking my butt off. What good book is out there about them and how to best educate the public about them? Are there any good diagnostic tests also for nightshade in people's health? You know, I don't think so, Matthew. You know what? I don't know. We lack so much good research and things we can research. I'm telling you, the future is wide open for us. Questions like you have right there. These are good questions, and we just need some good research. But you got to realize all the monies went to the medical doctors, and that crappy research, which led nowhere, right? Absolutely have led nowhere. So it's just led to the killing machines. It's just a sad thing, you know, to see that. There's so many questions we have here, and we're always bantering. Us counselors are always getting together, and with cases and also with new levels of thinking, things that we're digging into. So cool stuff. But we share with everything we get, we share with you guys as much as we can. So, or I share them in my classes, one of the two, because I want all of us to be on the same page. When we're all on the same page, we're all brothers and sisters, we're all strong. We're all strong. So, the nightshade family. Toxic plant family, of course. Nightshade family is considered a toxic line of plants. Just that the tomato has been hybrided down to it's not as toxic, but still highly acidic. I don't do well with them a lot of times, just because my body doesn't like acids, and I can feel them sometimes unless they're super ripe, maybe a beefsteak or something, but. You've got the yellow ones and stuff, but then you've got the eggplants and the potatoes. And if you take a look at all the nightshades, they're not really these healing type of foods that everybody thinks they are. I mean, potatoes are starch. Raw, of course, are astringent, so they're nice raw sometimes, but they're still white. So I don't know of anything healthy about the nightshades, and I don't know all about the toxic chemistry of them either. It's been a lot of years, and I don't even know if I even took that in school. It's been so many years, guys. I don't like eggplants myself. Potatoes, of course, is just something you cheat on. But tomatoes, I don't know. You know, things should be hybrided down and the toxic effects hybrided out, but whether that makes a food nutritionally sound or what, I don't know. I wish we had some good research, though. We have a good research department. Someday we ever make it, we'll have a research department, because there's a lot of us that like some pretty good questions answered. There's a lot of things out there, but I don't know the books. It's been a lot of years. I'm talking to a guy who hasn't read a lot of books in 30 years or more. I'm burnt out. I was a hound in education. That's why I can laugh at academics, because I was an academic hound. I just had to know. I'd have 3 or 4 books here at the same time, digging in and trying to find the truth of everything. It's just kind of up here. And then I realized I'm a mind writer bad. And I needed not to be a mind writer, because life is much more simpler than that. And mind writing keeps you in creation, and I don't want to stay here in creation. I don't mind helping here and there, but staying in a place is not really, keep reincarnating here. So I wish I could explain more to you. I wish I did, but I appreciate the thought, Matthew. But definitely, and I don't even know what the chemistry is that's toxic in them, to be honest with you. It's enough to say that eggplant definitely has that acid kind of negative connotation to it, and tomatoes do too in its own way. But I don't know what to say. I like good tomatoes, so I don't think they'll necessarily hurt you. If anybody has more information on nightshades, help this guy out with that. Verisetti? I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong, sweetheart, and I apologize. 248 damaged cells? What? 248 damaged cells? GI tract, loose skin, itchy skin. I sleep mostly on my back because don't breathe well on my sides, and cannot breathe on my stomach. My liver function is fine. My thyroid is normal under medication. The last few weeks my back is itching a bit more each day. Should I try to sit up one night and let my skin on back rest? Well, you're resting it through the daytime and all that. There is no rash. I put calamine on yesterday's zip. Calamine lotion? I'd get into some good herbal lotions. I just put skin lotion on today. What can I do? Thanks for your videos. Thanks, honey. All right, so first question up. 248 damaged cells. That's not very many. So I don't know what tissue is involved here. You haven't mentioned what tissue. And who knows there's 248 damaged cells. That would be amazing if someone could tell you that. GI tract, loose skin, itchy skin. Well, the itchy skin is definitely going to be fungus, candida. The loose skin is going to be your connective tissue, meaning parathyroid gland. Your GI tract, I take it you're having trouble with that, which means probably you're going to have pituitary and some things going on up here as well. Well, if you look at damaged tissue, whether it's trauma or your lifestyle, in other words, the chemistry you're eating, you can change all of this. And if it's trauma, you have to still get to the lymph system. There's going one to the hospital right now. But to the lymph system, you've got to get to that system, which is controlled by the kidneys and adrenal glands, if you want to open up this door. That will then remove the acids that are breaking you down. Because remember this, always, guys, it's always the same stuff. It's only 2 sides of chemistry. Only 2 sides. One is gnarly, one is aggressive, one is inflammatory, one is what we call in chemistry corrosive, obviously. And of course that's the Coca-Cola side, that's the acid side. You can't expect all chemistry to be bad for you. Then you couldn't believe in God anymore. We have a devil that owns everything. So the good side basically, this is basic stuff. Arguments of the mind writers can be each end is not so good, but no one lives too much on each end, hopefully. What's the hottest acid they found? Minus 60 or something? I can't even imagine something that hot, because these are logarithms. So when you're talking something in the minus, even the minus 30s, you're so hot. I don't see how anything can be that way. Everything would instantly melt. I don't know. It's amazing. I mean, the pH factors. It's amazing stuff. I don't know. But, excuse me. Want to get on these herbs, get on the stomach and bowels, get in your kidneys, get your kidneys filtering, get your adrenals up there. You got your steroids, your nervous system for your bowels, but also start cleaning on that bowel wall. Start cleaning up your body, sweetheart, and get now that the loose skin and everything suggesting a parathyroid. That could lead into depressions and things like this. I don't see an age or anything likely here. Now, breathing. What do you think, guys? She can't breathe on her stomach. So, right here, she can't breathe laying on her autonomic brain. So, solar plexus, stomach, autonomic brain. Now, you could have GI tract problems, just like she said, she's having GI tract problems. She could have a stomach with deterioration in it where that would affect her breathing. Remember, when you have stomach problems, you're going to have neurological problems because you're right at the head of the autonomic system. Now, add that to the adrenal weakness because everybody's got that to some extent, so add that to that. And that's what this poor lady is dealing with. So, honey, I'd get my adrenal glands up. That's your neurotransmitters for breathing. Clean up my GI tract. Use stomach and bowel, whatever level you need, and the GI broom. Start cleaning your body out. Get on raw food diets and start cleaning all this out because neurologically, you don't want to, when it comes to the nervous system, you want to try to stop when you awake to that problem. Because you saw Dragita. I mean, it's a trip to get someone back from this. There's physical therapy, there's all kinds of things to start getting them connected, as well as regeneration of brain tissue, nerve tissue, building the myelin sheaths again. All of these things is in the process that she's involved in. But you see what the benefits of that. Now we had this other Lou Gehrig's case. She was in a mess, but we had a Lou Gehrig's case. Only 4 months out the chute, she's up walking, but she lost her ability to speak. Now she can speak. So these are the sort of things that you can do with people, that the body is resilient and they can come back from these advanced cases. But I hate to see people take it that far. But you know why they do? Because there's no help anywhere out there. As many people tout these things and questions to me, like this one lad there. I don't care how many doctors you've been to. I don't know how many medical doctors you've been to and naturopaths you've been to. We're not like those. And you just have to, unfortunately, and this makes me want to cringe a little bit, for you that have looked all over the world for things, this is your home. If you don't believe that, keep looking, but at least wrap on the robe, strap yourself onto the bull, get all raw, and head on down this road and give it a year's try. Then you can bitch at me and say, well, it didn't work for me or whatever. But you strap it on and you do it properly, and you'll never say that, I'll tell you. So that's what I would do, sweethearts, get myself looking at this, because you gave me some nice little hodgepodge real quick. Appreciate that very much. But a little more information would be nice. A little bit more. But it's enough to say, sweetie, you want to get to your kidneys and adrenals and your lymphatic system, you got to deal with this GI tract problem. Because that is directly, to me, related to your breathing problem. If not, then you have the adrenals by themselves down. But I think your GI tract's a big part of this issue. So, you want to enhance your nervous system. So I'm saying upper circulating nerve, your adrenal formulas, the kidneys, right? Get on the GI tracts. I hate to go over these in each one. So you just look on our site. You can see the protocols. You can get herbs like them. You can use ours. We don't care what you do. But follow that rhythm at this level, and you'll be successful. And if you're not, I can't imagine why not. Then I would want to see your case and what's wrong with you. Because you can see, we've been able to pull some of the most advanced cases of life out. So when someone's a lot lower on the totem pole with problems, we're wondering what they're doing wrong. Sometimes when you start adding things, you start losing. Sometimes more is not better. It's better to keep yourself focused and on down the road instead of adding, oh, this sounds good, I'll add this. Whether it's MMS or whatever. Oh, thank you. What's this? Just a thank you for a YouTube video you did. Oh, Thank you, Shannon. Yes, I saw Dr. Morse's reply as I never miss it. Oh, thanks. Who is this? Oh, Colleen. Thank you, sweetheart. He addressed my query on both a practical level and also in a way that saw deep into my concerns and challenges. My son, husband, and I listened to the video together and looked at each other. Amazing as Dr. Morse tapped into all kinds of information. Oh, I love you. Thanks. He even mentioned the Montessori school, a subject not required, but foremost in my mind on the day I listened to the video. I heard you. Stop gushing and let you get back to work. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, honey. Well, for you guys out there that do public speaking and things, and you're teaching others, don't mind ride. Know your subject and know it well. So, and live it so that you can talk about it because you're living it. It isn't something you do on the weekend. It's something you live and breathe. And then when you articulate in front of a group, your articulations will be proper. But work on, remember I told you used to have a spiritual, one of my spiritual guides. I hate to call him a spiritual guide. I mean, this guy's, I can't even tell you, you wouldn't believe it. But his name is Fubi. I had a cat named Fubi. Fubi Quantz. But he used to pop right here, start talking to me while I'm giving a class. And I'd be trying to talk and listen to him, and yet I can't lose my focus. And so he taught me how to sit back and let it flow. And then if you guys want to know something, it'll come through and I'll mention it. It's just what you learn to try and do the best you can. You never know. But remember, universal mind. All our minds come out of one mind. Just like all consciousness comes out of one consciousness. How interesting, huh? After thought, when Dr. Morse provides information regarding sea or pink unrefined salt, I would like to know it. Yeah, this is about the salt. And this person is, talking about unrefined sea salt. And he goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on about salt as a strong anti-stress element for the body. It's vital for extracting excess acidity from inside the cells. I mean, you can go on and on and on about that, but I would take the natural salts as they appear within the fruits, berries, and melons, and of course in the veggies as well. But I would take the natural appearing salts, and of course remember salts are also formed when metals come in contact with non-metals. And so some of this has to be eliminated out of the body in the form of salts. So you get both sides of that. It's not something you have to take as a health promoter because you're more in the inorganic stages. I mean, the more elemental something is, the less bioavailable it is for the Homo sapien, and the less it should be used because their charges are low, their electrical charges are low, that sort of thing. And we are highly electrical beings. If you have noticed, our next body out of the physical body in the Homo sapien is the astral body. It is with the other animals too, but still. That is a very electrical body, and I don't know how much chemical exists on the astral plane. I don't know that. It's always been an energetic plane to me. So So salts, I don't mind some Himalayan, Celtic, or real salt as long as it's a full-bodied salt with traces, micro traces. No problems. But you don't need much, and you really don't need any of it because all your foods, everything's loaded if you get good, proper foods. Everything's loaded with the salts and the nutrition. So it's not something you have to supply. But if you felt like you were craving a salt, what would be your problem? Adrenal glands. Adrenal weakness. So for those salt cravers out there that wants the salt on the chips and everything, that's the adrenal glands. But it shows you the sodium-potassium issue of the body. You want to be careful about too much salt. Even though there's been many wars fought over the old salt. But if you just want to use just a little bit and grind it up and sprinkle it on a salad or something, no problem. But again, be careful. It's way elemental. You're eating foods that takes the elementals, converts them to salts, but electrifies the salts. So when you get your salts in your fruits and your berries and your melons, they're at a highly electrical stage as opposed to salt that's more inorganic, even though we call it organic. But it's really more in an inorganic stage in terms of electrical. But synergistically all together, I don't mind a little bit here and there. But if you're craving that, no, you got to go to the adrenal glands and work on that. Okay, here's one that says, what's the best approach to RA? RA is rheumatoid arthritis. Well, where I see the RA the most, of course, is in the athletes, unfortunately, and the bodybuilders. I've had one RA case that did not have any sulfur in their body, and looking at their iris. Every case that I've ever had, and this is almost true with what the gentleman asked earlier, was or the lady was the limes. Always seem to have sulfur with limes, lupus, definitely with RA. It seems like you always have that factor in you. How that affects the rheumatoid factors, I don't know. It's too much, But it's enough to say it's another highly acidosis problem. It comes in athletes that pump high proteins a lot. You see it in bodybuilders. You see it in, again, athletes that pump a lot of protein. And there's nothing fun about it. I had one guy, he had 26, 27-inch arms, made some magazines, it's good. He's got these pecs way out here. Came to me with his joints way out here and way out here. And he had worked on a tugboat, and he needed to have, so he could run the boat, he needed to have, and so we worked him and worked him and worked him and worked him. He had a hard time getting all raw because he just couldn't lose that protein. But he eventually came around. Finally, he realized that, you can't do it. So it took him a while to get himself turned around, but it's enough to say that RA is an extreme acidosis. All your arthritises, all your Lymes, all your lupus, all your fibromyalgias, lump them in one pot. You get rid of them the same way, all of them. There's nothing special about either one of them. You can treat them like they treat them and just get yourself worse and worse. And notice that inflammation is a part of all of it, meaning acidosis. Remember, inflammation is simply your body's immune response to what? So you have interleukins, you have histamine responses, but most of those are to pathogens and things. What about proteins, acids? And your cholesterols, your edemas, and your calciums. So, if this is systemic acidosis, what do you do about it? It's like the poor girl earlier where her teeth are breaking down on her. That's acidosis. That's extreme acidosis. So, how do you stop that? Well, you stop eating acids for one thing. Acid-forming foods, and those are mainly proteins. Your starches are acid formers too, really. So you go to the family of foods that are not acid formers, and mostly you're into most of the fruits, berries and melons, and vegetables. Now there's some acid-forming fruits, no question. Most of those are unripe though. Because you get a good ripe fruit on a plant or tree, and you got something that makes your toes curl. Like I picked I've got 4 orange trees. I don't know, I got another thought cramming in there. Get out of there. I've got 4 navel orange trees, and 2 of them, the navels are about that big. And 2 of them, they're about that big. The 2 that are that big, I bought from Home Depot years ago. The other 2 I bought from a nursery that specializes in them, this big. And of course, just a couple of them for a whole glass of juice. And I used my last orange on them. Sweet as honey. But if they're not ripe, they're acid forming. There's no question about that. But getting ripe fruit is not easy for everybody, and I understand that. So I don't know what to say. Do your best, guys. It's all you can do is you do your best. You wake up where you are, what you need to do to get well, and you do your very best to get there. But when grapes burns your tongue, holy crap, that's bad. That's not good. That's extreme acidosis. That's not good. Oh my God. This is greetings from north of Scotland. A little Scottish blood, I think. First off, let me say thank you so much, Dr. Ma. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, for your highly inspirational videos. I thank you for that. I really do. Yeah, you know, we just keep dragging along with them, but I appreciate your guys' effort in watching them and all your work on yourselves. Nothing's perfect, and everybody's got their own karmas and everything, but I think we do pretty good, don't you guys? This is a real good level for this planet to get to. At least it's giving 99% of you your remedy. If you got one or two out there that are struggling because of this and this and this, you just do. I don't know what to say about it. You just find out where they're struggling, what's holding them back, where they're holding themselves back, and you try to remedy that. Because there's no reason anybody out there at any level that steps on this level of healing can't get their remedy. And if you're not, then there's a problem that you're doing or doing something wrong, and you need to have someone that knows how to do it help you. That's all I know to say. I will begin at the beginning. In the beginning, how can you have a beginning? There is no beginning and there is no ending. There is no time. Therefore, you have no start, no stop. It gets pretty wild out there, don't it? I mean, this is Zen teasing. Tie two birds together, and even though they have four wings, they cannot fly. I was a snowboarder, instructor, who in November 2012 had arthroscopic surgery on my left knee's meniscus. All was well until 6 weeks post-operation when I began to develop a host of problems. I've lost so much as a result of this, and ever since have been on a desperate journey to heal. No conventional doctor or specialist could help. Well, you know what? Even from trauma, the lymph system, I keep coming back to that system, but that's your cleansing system. Your lymph system cleans up the mess for trauma. Your blood, you don't throw crap into your blood. Your blood is your kitchen. That always needs to be pure and good and pH appropriate. We know that. So you don't have to mess with the blood. Changing your diet's good enough. It'll clean that blood up really nice, and cleaning the liver and everything, clean that. It's your sewer system that's the problem. And that's the system with all this coming into. And if you have an accident in your knee, now if you didn't have an accident and you needed this surgery, why? Lymph system, acidosis. In order of symptoms, okay, joints, very sharp pain in my knee and loss of flexibility, put me on crutches for a year. Loss of circulation in knee. Well, that could be from the swelling of the lymph system, could cut capillary feeding to the cells, which is scary. Yep. Edema in knee, so you know you're highly acidic. That's why you have that osmotic water there, because you're highly acidic. And that just tells you you're holding. Well, where does that take you? Stop for a minute. Where does this take you? It takes you to your kidney on that side. Your kidney and adrenal gland on that side is where this is taking you. And until you fix that, you're going to be struggling fixing the knee. You see why? Because you can't fix the knee until you fix the kidney. See the relationship? Once the kidney starts filtering, all that lymph and acids now have a pathway to get out of your body. Till then, the best thing you can do is put our burn salve, that healing, that skin burn salve we have, put that on your knee. It's anti-inflammatory, it'll neutralize, and it'll accelerate the healing of that knee. At the same time, I'm on my raw foods big time. If I want to pop some greens, okay, green drinks, but I want to really dig into my lymph system. Excuse me, talking too much. I want to dig into that lymph system and start pulling those acids out of that body and out of that knee. Very, very important that you do that. And get this, that could be a genetic weakness. That's why you feel trapped in that area as well, but you still have to fix the kidney and everything on that side. And then rubbing that salve, again, and I want to go back to this too, hit the parathyroid gland as well. You might want to pick that up just a little bit. So we got our new 50 milligram parathyroids in, so I would do one 3 times a day with the bone formula. I wanted to go faster, I do three times a day on the bones. At the same time, I'm going to hit my kidneys, my adrenal glands. I'm going to take off cleaning my body out, because I know that's the problem and why I can't get remedy, because no one's removing the acids out of these tissues. And every symptom that I have is telling me that. Every symptom you're telling me so far, my friend, is telling me that you're trapped, your lymph system's trapped in that area. Knee very cold or very warm, depending on the environment. Blotchy purple over knee and thigh. Itchy skin on the, well, that's probably fungus. I mean, you're probably loaded with that. But this is all going back to the lymphatic system. Prickling sensations over the thighs and sometimes moving over the rest of the body. Ooh, I don't like that. See, the nervous system's being affected a little bit. Where's that going to take you? Kidney and adrenals. Yeah, I don't like that tingling little feeling all over the place. See, so you're getting some impact on the nervous system, and it could just be even the swelling. You know, when you swell the lymph system like that, it can close off nerve supply, it can close off blood supply. Oh yeah, doesn't have to be a blood problem or a nerve problem. It's the lymph system causing those problems. After 3 months, similar sensations were felt in other joints. Yeah, I mean, you know how you're feeling it all over? Because when you see something that's systemic like that, the first thing you want to pull back and say, wait a minute. What I have is basically the sky in my body. I have heart, I have lungs, I have planet Pluto, and I have planet Venus, and I have, yes, you know, basically you have your organs and glands hanging in the sky with pipes going to them of blood and lymph, and coming from them, blood and lymph pipes. So when you have a symptom all around you, which system is down? Well, you only have two systems, really, two systems of fluid-based. Everything else is cells. So you're back to the sewer fluids again and acids again. There's nowhere else it can take you. There's nowhere else to go. And there's nowhere else you need to go. Got dull, sharp, or itchy, prickling pain in the left elbow, sometimes my right elbow. See how it's systemic all over the place? Because these are the things you move the most. And when you move the joints the most, what are you creating here? Every time you move and exercise, you're creating more acids because your respirations go up, you increase metabolism, you increase everything. You increase neurotransmitters, you increase everything. So as you're increasing all that activity, of course you're going to increase acid production. It's just a natural thing of it. It's like working in the gym and you work real hard one day, I had a good workout. Next day you go, oh God, I'm stiff and sore from that work. That's lactic acid amongst all the other acids. That is what you have to get out. And when you wake up from a workout and you feel that way, that means your lymph system was sluggish and couldn't move these acids out of your body quick enough. So once you get moving and everything, it's, oh, I'm feeling better now. Still want to fix the problem because it'll go back and it'll go back, and then someday it won't go away. What you used to be able to go away by stretching and moving doesn't go away anymore like that. It's like, whoa, what's going on now? Worse. Things get worse unless you fix them. That's the bottom line. And unless you detox, because I don't know, nor do I teach anything other than what I know to be true. Oh my God, you have a grocery list, my friend. Dull, sharp, or itchy, prickling pain in the right knee, prickly sensation all over my body, fatigue and exhaustion. That's because your adrenals are down, obviously. You could have a lot of fungus in the body from that, of course, right? Improper carbohydrate metabolism and the like. Sometimes I'm feeling almost being drunk when I'm not. You know what? You might want to check your blood sugars too, because with the adrenals like this, you know your adrenals are down for several reasons. First, steroids. Because generally, even with the lymph down and everything, if you're producing adequate steroids, sometimes they come in and help that pain for a while, so you don't realize you really have this problem going on until you start running low steroids, and then wham! It's like, oh, look what just happened to me. No, it's been building. Runny nose when I eat food, that's how your sinuses are impacted. I mean, you really got to cut yourself loose, bro. Really start cleaning yourself out. Get your head drained. Get all this out of you. Woo. I eat food, drink, or even smell things. Pain in my hands after eating sulfur foods. Where's that one guy wanted sulfur? Wasn't it someone? You know what? You could have a bunch of sulfur in you already. You get a picture of your eyes yet to take a look at that? You know, get to those eyes. If I teach you guys anything that's cool, it's iridology, proper iridology, not the German iridology, proper iridology. It's just a fun tool to use. You can see what you're up against here. I began to eat a lot of raw, especially spinach, etc., or taking MSM supplements. More sulfur. MSM is full of sulfur. So you don't want to take sulfur. You probably already have too much. Terrible headaches and hangovers after drinking just a teeny amount of alcohol, even half a beer. Wow. Well, sounds like your blood sugar's off. Sounds like you have to do some cleaning of the body, my friend. Groggy feeling and headaches after eating greasy dinners, especially chicken. Headaches in the morning. Hell, that'd make me want to. That right there would give me a lot more than a groggy feeling. Ugh. Pain down the muscles of the right-hand side of my back and muscle tightness and pains in my neck. You're not telling me one thing here, my dear one, that is not lymphs and acidosis. You're not telling me one thing here. This is, what's that? Blood? Blood doesn't do that to you. Lymphs, acidosis, that's what it does to you. Creates agglomulation, coagulation, that's when everything starts sticking. Making things hard. Hard, yeah. That's lymph. How many people have that? Dizziness, pressures, lymph, not blood, lymph. Hell, if it was the blood, we could clean you up in 1,000 times quicker. We only wish it was the blood. No, we don't, because we'd all be dead. Oh my God, you're loaded, my friends. Irregular stools, constipated or wet, or loose, greasy, depending on what I eat. Well, what does that tell you? You're not metabolizing your oils. So you got a couple things to think about. First of all, definitely gallbladder thoughts. So I would definitely get on a program, start cleaning my bowels out, and do a liver gallbladder flush in about 30 days. Get on the phosphoric liquid in here about 2 weeks before to start breaking up some stones. Excuse me. And get your liver cleaned up. But I'd get on whatever you can afford. However many weeks you can afford, get on those kits. Because you got some things to clean up here, my friend. You've got a shitload, pardon my French, of symptoms. You want to get rid of them. None of these sound like they're any fun. Let me see. Oils and fats make stools very runny or airy. Meats and pasta will make me more constipated. Fruit passes well. Well, so I would say I want a fruit diet, is what I would say. Knee is generally a little bit better after 3 years, but still unable to walk down hills. Okay, so you really want to get onto this. Start plowing the fields, because you can always pump some green drinks. Take a look at your lymph system, see what you're up against, but you're already systemically involved in everything you're telling me. So you want to get to that system. Then you can pump some green drinks. If you really want to pump some high minerals type drinks, and definitely want the parathyroid look, get that parathyroid up, because there's another problem that you might not be healing because you're not utilizing calcium properly. But you have to get the lymph out of these areas if you want these areas to heal. As long as your lymph is stagnant like that, there's no healing can be done. You can't try to come in a highly acidic medium and force tissue to repair itself. Your success is going to be minimal. We've seen some neat stuff, I have to tell you. And the only possibility that you can do that particular thing with is herbs. There's no pharmaceuticals, no supplements, there's nothing out there that can do that but botanicals. And remember I told you the case in I think in the last video or so where this lady couldn't do the diet yet. She slammed the herbs. Her lymph system looked a little better, not much, but her genetic lesions and everything were disappearing. It's like, I never saw that before. So pretty wild. I mean, I'm really like, wow, pretty good. All right, so who's going to kick off the voice tonight? It's either going to be the young kid or one of the two girls. Not Maggie or whatever her name is. But I would use that salve, that burn / skin salve we have, put on that knee or any joint, let that soak in and start healing. Of course, you got comfrey in there to regenerate. But you want to look at your body systemically, get your kidneys filtering, get your adrenals up, all the things that we've been talking about in all these videos. You get in there and get done, you'll turn your body around and you'll regenerate the knee, my friend, and the elbows and everything else, and then you'll be good again. Now you can do your snowboarding again. There is regeneration, it's just that there's a focus to it. And 100% raw does ring a bell. I mean, if you want to regenerate the body, 100% raw is mandatory. My opinion. You don't regenerate nothing with cooked foods, nothing. That's how you take your energy down. That's how you can use cooked foods for balance. When you have way too much energy, then you can have some cooked vegetables and it'll bring your energy down a little bit. Yeah. But then you're not doing it with proteins or things that can harm the body as much. I mean, cooked vegetables, yes, the chemistry is not present. Yes, you just got the magnetic energy out of it. Yes. But it's not like a protein that'll rip you. Of course, you might have some fungus involved because it will ferment probably fairly quick. Now, but symptoms of prickling have become more frequent and all other symptoms remain the same. All right, so upper circulation, brain, and nerve would be my two foods I would be thinking about. Upper circulation and brain and nerve. At the same time, you might want to do brain and nerve 1, brain and nerve number 2 in case you're really getting some neuropathies or you're breaking down your nervous system. But that's how you break down the nervous system is acidosis. Yeah, thanks for your time for reading this letter. No, be happy to. You're suffering too much, my friend. This is Duncan. Duncan, you're suffering too much here, my friend. You want to save that knee there, bro. But use that salve to help with the inflammation, to help with the acidosis there, and to help you generate a little bit that way. But this is all internal. You really want to take a look at your parathyroid gland as well. As well as doing all that. But all this, when you start feeling things all over the body, then you know something's systemic. All right, it's just a stop. Well, what could that be? Something that hurts all over my body. What's all over my body? See, everything is not just all in there and living in one big foot. Everything is its own compartments, its own planet in the sky, if you will, with all the tubes and pipes and electrical cables that you need. Hooks everything up. Everything's in different chambers. Fun stuff. But, whew, this is another real long one. Hang on. No offense, but if I just would like to get as many as I can. Patrice? That's an old name, isn't it? I just want to ask you some quick questions. Why do you make a difference between the fruits, the berries, and the melons? Are they all fruits, or do you see a difference between them? That's a good question. Fair question. Yeah, I think society looks at them differently like that. When you see a blackberry, you don't say, "Oh, look at the black fruit or the blue fruit." You always, there's a berry attached to them. So berries have always been considered berries, fruits, and melons are melons. So I've always considered them in their different compartments. You could argue, and I would agree with you, that they're all fruit. Yep, I could argue that with you. I'd agree with you. But society, we're bred on berries and melons, so then you just have to talk that way. We got a new chart coming out, and I have a new category on it called veggie fruits. And so there'll be another category for veggie fruits. What is the difference between you tinctures and your capsules? Well, tinctures are obviously different. One is they're all organic herbs. They're all 1-to-4s. But with the herbs, they're just ground up. We just grind our herbs up, grind them up in powder form, and then encapsulate them. With the tinctures, of course, we have to put a menstruum in there. We have to put a medium in there to pull all the good stuff because we want a liquid. You have to pull all the nutrition out of a plant you can get. Well, when you went to glycerin or you went to vinegar as your menstruum, it didn't pull well. And I say that, and this new lab we've got made our new glycerin tinctures pretty strong. I haven't ever had a glycerin tincture this strong. That was not a 1-to-1 infused glycerin. So the tinctures, to me, tinctures just go into the body a little quicker because we have so much malabsorption and digestive problems. When you go in, your herbs are not liquid and they're just been powdered. That's just taking an herb and just powdering it down and eating it that way. That has to go through digestion and absorption. But the good reason for that is it'll work on the bowel wall. So I have the herbs that'll work on your bowel wall, except the kidney capsules. I have all the other ones. The lymphatic capsules work on the bowel walls, the stomach and bowel formulas, the heel oil capsules, the GI broom. All those help to clean and restore the GI tract. And the liquids are for people that I see very malabsorbed, and hope I can get that route as well, so we can get to the lymph nodes quicker. So that's always been my thought with the tinctures, is that we can get to those lymph nodes quicker, because your whole suffering is geared on how fast you can get that lymph filtering through your kidneys. Your whole suffering, your whole 9 yards. Nothing else. How fast can I get my kidneys to filter this crap acid out of my body? And that's your whole gauge to go by, because there's nothing else. I'm sweating. So you have those two gauges, filtration of the urine and sweating. Those two things have to take place before you can claim Wellville. It just has to, or your progress is slow. Just like this poor lad here, his progress is slow. He's been 3 years. It's too slow. And by that time, you're starting to feel it get worse in other places because you're too slow. That's why I say, when you realize what you need to do to get well, go for it, baby. Just like when you want to buy a new car, you don't dilly-dally. I'm going to go buy me a new car. So you go buy you a new car, or used car, or whatever. So make up your mind and just do it. And when you do, the results are well worth it. And we're going to, since we're in the club stuff, throw up more testimonials and stuff like that. We're going to, stick ourselves out there. Should we use one or not the other? No, I have this designed so you use a little of both. That way I know I'm getting good into the GI tract, but I know I'm giving you some liquids and tinctures that I can get out and into the system maybe better. So I love them both. That's why I use them both. That way we're for sure getting something in you. Some people are grossly malabsorbed. You have IBS, you got Crohn's, you're malabsorbed. Period. As they don't assimilate easily, the greens would be the tinctures. Yeah. Well, that's another reason, Again, complex digestion needs for the herbs, but there's something, I don't know how to describe it. There's something magic about herbs. I don't know what it is. It's like they don't follow the same laws that fruits and vegetables do. I don't know what it is. They're unique babies. Their consciousness is geared to help, and I don't know what to say about it. We're looking at a chemical structure, but we're also looking at a consciousness structure too. So when you're looking at plants, you're not just looking at something dead, you're looking at the living, and awareness too. They know you're looking at them, they know you're talking to them. I mean, there's been plenty of research and studies done on them. Good stuff. Remember the plants that they were going to get rid of the bomb-sniffing dogs out of airports because the lady professor said her plants do a better job? Dogs were only about 70 to 75% accurate at determining bomb chemicals by their nose. Plants were 100% accurate. Like, what? You can plane a plant to respond to chemistry? That's amazing, guys. I just got to say that I'm a plant lover. You guys seen my place a little bit there. And I just love plants, and I can tell you, I talk to them all the time. I get into them. But they brought me along that way, to be honest with you. They brought me into the plant life. They trained me. They brought me along this way so I would know more about botanicals. Good idea for cats, like nettle or other lymph or kitty, absolutely for cats. To me, the herbs are the only things that you can use on the cats, the felines, as far as I know. You can't go fruits. Their digestive system is, they just go right through them. Thank you so much, and thank you so much. Thank you for your questions. I appreciate it, each and every one of you. There's no stupid questions. I say that, and maybe there is, but this is Casey. Hi, just a follow-up to my first message. The question I have is this: what does Dr. Morse say about herbs versus homeopathics? Well, if I thought homeopathics were better than herbs, I would be a homeopathic physician. I have a lot of good friends that are homeopathic physicians, and I've said this many times, it's on many videos, that medical doctors should be homeopathists. You want to get out of the killing machine and the fields of the pharmaceuticals, become a homeopath, because this stuff is beautiful. Most are natural. There are some other things, but the whole philosophy is better, and you don't kill. And it's just really good for treating symptoms. If you're looking to cure yourself, cure, C-U-R-E, you don't want to do homeopathy. That's a treatment-based system. Great for the queen, great for a world like this. But again, that's perfect place for a medical doctor to sit down into. not naturopath, homeopath. But if you want to get well and regenerate the body, you don't go to homeopathy. You go to true naturopathy, not naturopathic medicine. This crap that people do. You go to true naturopathy, which is basically what I'm teaching you. I just combined true naturopathy with botanicals and created a whole new look, because that's obviously why they're there. Yeah. I have had success with the starter kit. Thank you, CB. Thank you, Casey. Yeah, you're going to have a lot more success. You just dig in and dig in and dig in, and you guys will have all the success you want, because now you're on point. You're addressing the cause of the problems. Your system, your cause, your chemistry, everything's proper. So you're going to have your remedy. Again, some are more involved. Some people have more involved lymph systems. Some people are much more acidic than others. Some people's genetics are deeper than others. So there are those factors in detoxification one has to consider. Now, you can't run the detox is the same for Jim as it is for George as it is for Sally. No, it's different for everyone. That's the art. That's the art. Being able to work and move a being through the process of detoxification from Hellville to Wellville. And a lot of you guys are doing it, and I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. Can't pronounce your name. Apologize. Osayyi. Osaya? Something like that. I apologize. I can't. The attention. Severe allergic reaction. Oh my God. What is your body telling to you? What is your body trying to tell you when anaphylaxis occurs as a result of an allergen? Why do some people die from this? What are some natural ways you can treat this condition immediately? Oh, well, you have to get, what is it? Oh, my brain is fried. But I have all your eyes out. You students at school, I did the last one yesterday. So all your eyes are done. So you should be getting them pretty soon. But bentonite, not bentonite, but you can use for when you have an anaphylactic shock. You could use some EpiPen. Yeah, you got an EpiPen down here. You could use epinephrine if you could. If you had an EpiPen. Some people that have a lot of this carry epi on them. There's no question. Epinephrine. Benadryl. That sort of thing. But if you have a lymph system that involved, I recommend this. That you go on fruit for breakfast, more your subacid and your sweet. Then you do your green drinks the rest of the day, or a salad at lunch and a green drink at night. Enough to where you don't go to bed fully full of food. You've got to have some beginning action on this. Then you want to go after your kidneys and your adrenal glands. I might so much to say that I would only do lymphatic 1 capsules, and maybe only 1 capsule 3 times a day to start. I would be on 2 kidney formulas and adrenal formula, because you need those steroids to help with this. They'll help with this anaphylactic stuff. But you need all of that, and of course there's your epi as your neurotransmitters from the adrenals. So you want to bring that up. Anyone that has these type of allergic reactions, their lymph systems are a mess. On top of that, chemistry, all these toxins and proteins, most of them are proteins, like from peanuts and all these are proteins that your body gets like this. Because all these conditions, as was mentioned earlier by this one lad, are the same. You see the same thing happening in each one of these cases. You see the proteins and the mucus. You see the acids and you see the immune response in each and every time. So what does that tell you? It tells you how your body works. So quit putting in protein in your body. A big misunderstanding about protein. Big misunderstanding. Why is it that the use of an EpiPen injects adrenaline, it's epinephrine actually, but it's a form of adrenaline, stops this? Well, again, neurological, I suppose. Turning on the nervous system again, going on, things can put you into spasticity. Acidosis, high toxins can throw you into spasticity and cause spasming of the nervous system and things like this. Absolutely. So when you're starting to get energy to a good one that you bring out, and I love this question because I think it's a really good one in the sense that I'll put it this way, what condition would your myelin sheaths be in when you have that real spasticity, when you have acids or proteins, where your body's just had enough of that type of protein or that type of chemistry, then when your cup is full, it's full. That tells me that your myelin sheaths are way down, and that little epi kicks up and strengthens the neural response or stops the anaphylactic shock. Stops that. Just like an antispasmodic would. You probably could take an antispasmodic and do the same thing. There could be other reasons too, no question about it. Through your videos I have understood a lot more about diseases, but allergies, no, same thing. You don't have to puzzle you, same thing. Matter of fact, you experience the allergies when two things happen. When your adrenals are real low and your lymph is real high. That's when you really see that. And you can get allergic to almost everything after a while. You just your lymph system gets worse and worse and worse. You start getting allergic to everything. That's just your sewer system. It's just that your chemistry's up here. You got to give your body a reprieve. Start consuming the chemistry that opens you up. But I tell you, sometimes you can get so bad that even fruit can give you a scare. And you can get to a point where any little thing can give you a scare. Think you're going to go into an anaphylactic shock. You might go into a release through the skin and everything, but it's not an anaphylactic shock where you feel the closing of the throat and all that. It's similar, but it's not. So these people like this have a little rough road to hoe at first till they get past this sort of kickback from detox. But you got to do it. It's the only way to get through it. And I've had tons of these cases through the years, just tons and tons and tons of your cases. It's a big deal out there. But this is your adrenal glands and your lymphatic system and your kidneys as well. I hope you can help clear some fog. Absolutely. Great work what you do. Oh, thank you, my friend. But yeah, absolutely. And that's the problem. When you get someone like a little boy in the bubble, you can get way out there. And here's another problem. Too many antibiotics. When you use antibiotics like it was candy, pretty soon you're like the little boy in the bubble. Your immune system is shot. You've killed all the bacteria that's supposed to be helping you, and now you're full-bore acids right on the system. Bacteria help you break down these acids. You kill the bacteria, now you got full-bore acidosis. That's the problem. So the whole concept of treating bacteria for acidosis problems is insanity, in my opinion. I don't know where they got from that, and all the problems that exist with the use of antibiotics. You really hurt yourself using antibiotics. Be careful. And several of them have fatal events tied to them. Cipro being one of them. I can't imagine the FDA allowing Cipro on the market. I can't imagine that. Especially after killing the last anthrax lady. I can't imagine that. And they have the balls to come over and gripe at us for herbs. It's almost not good here in Denmark, huh? But it's enough to say that you want to pull your body out of this, and your kidney and adrenals are your magics. Getting more steroid production and neurotransmitter production is important to this anaphylactic shock issue. So dig in, but I'd go slow. If I'm working on myself a little slower. I'm going to hit my nervous system, my brain and nerve. I'm going to hit my adrenals pretty heavy. I'm going to hit my kidneys. I'm going to be real gentle on my lymph system at first, because you possibly could explode. And if you've been on steroids, that's when the explosion comes, because steroids suppress. And the longer you suppress with antibiotics or steroids, one day you get just like this guy. Or if the areas might be talking about someone else, who knows. But it's enough to say, it sounds like he's talking about himself, you're going to have that same problem where you're so full, your cup is so full of acids and stuff that any little thing just, the body just wants to explode open. So you have to allow it. You can't win this by continuing to suppress, or you will die from that. You can't do that. You have to allow for expectoration. You can go a little slower using the green drinks, and the salads and stuff. You can go a little slower. You might want to do that at first, especially at this level of problem. If you have to carry an EpiPen, I would definitely do my greens and green drinks with only 1 fruit meal a day. And I'd make that subacid to sweet. But as I started breaking through, I'd add the herbs. Then as my body's doing good, I'd add more herbs, and I'd keep on, and I'd go full bore to the fruit. And then you'll be through this. But don't make no mistake, this guy's in a tough position. When your lymph system is that backed up that anything can cause you a semi-anaphylactic issue. Woo, 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 woo. All right, honey, I'll read this. My name is Sylvia. Feel free to share my name if going on YouTube. And I am a 45-year-old Hispanic female. I love Hispanic females. Beautiful women. I grew up and have been up until about 5 months. I grew up and have been up until about 5 months ago on a standard American, Mexican American diet consisting of everything. I love listening to you. Yeah, I know. I used to, I hate to say it, but Mexican food, Italian food, these are some of the unhealthiest food, on the planet, with all your pastas and your tomato sauces and the meats and all this. When you look at the white breads and you look at all this stuff. But you know what? Every society has developed their bad habits. So luckily though, Mexico has some of the good fruits, some good food. And it's a pretty place. You share so much love and wisdom. Thanks, honey. I appreciate that. Kind of got it in the throat today, so I apologize. I learned a lot about the lymph system. Well, I'm glad, because I tell you what, you learn that system and you'll be at head of the class. You guys are learning a system that no one's putting attention on except the lymphologists, who obviously had their heads buried in the sand. They're not educating their brethren on the lymph system. At least even halfway would be decent. But you rarely hear a medical doctor even mention the lymph system except in lymphomas and lymphedema and stuff like that. Okay, so she said, I started listening about 5 months ago, but I ran into a problem. I was on high blood pressure medicine, but after changing my diet, I stopped taking the meds about 3 months ago. I've been doing pretty good with the blood pressure, but sometimes it is a little elevated. I had my gallbladder removed in 2011 and starting seeing a GI doc off and on after surgery. Well, you can see why. Because the problem was actually in your GI tract first, and then the branch called the liver got it, and gallbladder. Over the past few years, GI docs said my liver enzymes were elevated and told me to lose weight, and if numbers don't decrease, he was going to do a biopsy. Well, here we go. Okay. So, when you have tissue removed, there's generally a reason. Now, granted, they tend to remove gallbladders just for stones. Stupid, stupid, stupid. You can get stones out of a gallbladder, get the inflammation out of a gallbladder real easy. So it's ridiculous to remove gallbladders unless they're turned into mush. But that means they've been acidic for a long time. How would it be that your gallbladder could be so acidic, but your liver not? It wasn't. Your liver was also involved. See, that's the problem. Your liver's always involved when the gallbladder's involved. They're brothers and sisters, man and wife, whatever you want to call them. But it's enough to say that your liver enzymes, so what could create an elevation of liver enzymes? Well, let's pull back a minute. How many sides to chemistry? 2. And which side of chemistry could cause inflammation in the liver? Base? Nope. Acids. So what system deals with acids? Aha! I'm back to the lymphatic system again. Yep. Every time. Every single time. So, if you want to get these numbers out, where are you going to go? if I want to clean up my liver, why do I have to go to my kidneys and adrenal glands? Here's my liver. My kidneys and adrenals are back here. Why am I going to different tissue when the trouble's in my gallbladder liver? Oh, wait a minute. It's just not in my gallbladder liver, is it? It's all through my GI tract, probably a little in the pancreas, could be some in the spleen. And man, what about my esophagus? How about in my head? How about that when I have trouble in one part of my body, since everything is systems, I'm having trouble in multiple places in my body. I'm just unaware of it at this time because it's not making me aware of it. Yeah. Now, having a surgery has done nothing. You have done nothing to fix the problem. You know, because you know how to fix it, I'm sure, Sylvia. By now, you know this is the lymph system, honey. So you want to get these liver enzymes, get them out of there. Losing weight. I love that one. That's another one. Yeah, just lose weight and your liver enzymes will go down. Oh, really? Oh, my God. I will just cut a piece of it out and see what's going on. It's like that vet the other day cut a lymph node out of a pit bull just to see what was wrong with it. Okay, now you just took the lymph node out of the neck of a pit bull. So now the neck or whatever cells that uses that lymph node to drain can't drain anymore. So what you just did is put that pit bull in more life danger. And that was a veterinarian that did that. Woo-hoo. Do you have to ask why a lymph node would swell? Is that really something you don't learn in school? That's amazing to me. That's shocking to me. I haven't been back to see him since then, February 5th, 2015. I went to ER several times at the beginning of 2015 due to high blood pressure. All right, now listen. I think 160/97, and one time they said my thyroids may give me problems in the future according to blood work. Okay, so let's stop for a minute, sweetheart, and think about this. All right, so you were on blood pressure meds. You went on the raw. Your blood pressure was down. But your blood pressure has a tendency to do this, right? So what I'm gathering here is that you can't just swing from, let's say, 130/75. You can't just swing to 160/97. Not in it be kidneys and adrenals. No. But you could if what? Cerebellum. Cerebellum swings like that, and there's nothing that medical doctor can do about it at all, nor do you want to try to. If you want to take a BP med PRN, means when needed, maybe, but the problem isn't the kidney and adrenal. The problem is inflammation or acidosis in the back of the head. So you want to drain that out, but your head sits on top of what? Your liver, gallbladder, GI tract, pancreas. See? So you're involved all the way up. But you would be because these are systems we're talking about. I've lost about 20 pounds at this point. I don't care about losing weight, just eating healthy, live foods, improving body's organs, systems, and aiding my body and getting rid of toxins. I agree 100% with you. And Sylvia, this is the way you look at it. It's not about, don't look at the weight. Because you notice if you're obese or you're overweight and you tell yourself you want to lose weight. As long as you're telling yourself that, you're subconsciously telling yourself you're fat. So subconsciously, you're feeding yourself that you're fat. And that doesn't work. But just get on a raw food diet, just like you said, perfect. You don't think about it, you're after the health of it. The health of it, your body will come down, align itself, fix itself, redo itself beautifully. You don't even have to think about it. So, smart. I like how you're thinking, honey. The hardest part is on the weekends, I know, and I ended up eating out, but still tried to make mostly healthy choices. Well, we're all the same, guys. You have a few young kids that are purists, I was, but basically we're all the same. You know, we're all raised on the crap. Hard not to have some once in a while, just emotional and all the other stuff. But you want to build yourself some new habits. You want to build yourself some new habits. And one of your new habits should be raw foods. And delicious raw fruits and berries and melons and things like this. Nice big salad once in a while, that's no problem. Green drinks, I love them. But when you're detoxifying and you need to dig deeper, that's a fruit, berry, and melon experience. So, you just move your life like this down the road as you need to. No big deal. Get your lymph system cleaned up, guys. Go tear into this, win the day, and you're done. The rest of your life, you're set, baby. You're set. And now you can make healthy choices because you understand and no one ever in your life can lie to you again about health or anything else. And you'll know that when you get yourself out of health again, if you do, by eating bad, you pull yourself back by eating right again. Because this is when you're learning how to take care of yourself. So good stuff. Weekends and nights are the toughest, of course. Let me see. Unfortunately, I have probably 3 cooked meals a week, which includes salmon or chicken. Get rid of the salmon or chicken. You don't need that. Have cooked vegetables. You don't need to have the dead animal stuff, especially when you're detoxifying, especially when you have problems. Very rarely beef and maybe a dessert here and there. Before rebounding, I used to have a knot on the right side of my left breast, and now it's gone. Good. But now I have a knot on the left side of my left breast, close to armpit. You get these out, sweetheart. This is your lymph system. And rebounding, get yourself on a raw food diet. Get yourself on a great fast. Get yourself up there on fruits, berries, and melons. Get these nodes in your lymph system fixed. Get it done. Because you don't want to be messing around with lumps and humps on near the breast. No. Not when you can deal with this real easy right now. Get yourself on fruits, berries, and melons. Detox. Yes, it's winter, but pretend you're in Mexico. Beautiful down there right now. So, put yourself on that. But you got to get this stuff done, okay, honey? Now, unfortunately, I cook me a week, desserts here and there, which is definitely an improvement. Well, it's an improvement, so that's good. But you're better than that. You can go deeper. That's what you want to do, is go deeper, honey. Go deeper. Keep digging in. And one of these times you'll turn around and go, new me, I'm good. New me, not a problem. New me. Try to do better, though. I listened to some of Dan's videos where he talks about the benefits of rebounding. So I began rebounding a few times a week. Before rebounding, but remember this. If you're not filtering, be careful rebounding, or you'll start to feel the knees and hips, especially if you already have a weakness there. So be real careful. You've got to be filtering. You mentioned on a video not to rebound if kidneys aren't filtered. Yeah, I'm not sure if kidneys are filtering. Pee in a jar, dear one, pee in a jar, and look for this white sediment. Or keep rebounding, and if you start to feel your knees, I'd pull back, for sure. I'm not sure if kidneys are filtering, but most likely not very well, especially left kidney. Yeah, probably not. When you see lumps like this, little tumors coming up, or little lymph areas, enlarging, it's your lymph system. It's your kidneys. And if you get real sensitive, you'll be able to see your lymph system going up and down with your kidney function. It's amazing stuff. You guys are learning stuff this whole planet has to learn. Isn't that cool? Cool stuff. But we have a lot to teach this planet yet. Lots coming. Now, I've developed a couple of large knots under left armpit. Nope. Well, my guess, even rebounding, you're not moving lymph well, sweetheart. And you just, rebounding doesn't make your kidneys filter. That's what you have to understand. Chi machines, rebounding, these do not make your kidneys filter better. Activity definitely helps with lymph. You can do like this when you're stiff and loosen up. Oh, but it comes right back. So you can. But you can move. I can knead your muscles and move lymph around. You feel good, but it comes back. It does not come back when you filter through the kidneys. That's the thing. Look at this. This is pretty good. Seem to be losing hair and left eye is red on some days. All right. So you're right. On that left side, that's that left kidney. That eye is red. That's acidosis. So with the rebounding, whatever's kicking up acidosis, you're seeing it in that left eye. If you're getting hair loss, that means your lymph is backed all the way up in the head, honey, and you've just got to get your lymph moved. If you guys want to stop hair loss, you have to stop what's taking it off. All right? Everything is chemistry. Which side takes off hair? I'm just saying. Gets redundant after a while, don't it? People say I look younger and skin looks great. Good. So I guess I've done good with changing diet. Absolutely, honey. And the sky's the limit. That's the beautiful part of this. Humans are so I don't know what to say. The Homo sapien consciousness is not very expanded. So hopefully with this infusion of what we're doing to this planet, it should change the nature of the human consciousness, because it's got to, or there's not going to be any more human consciousness left. So either we get it changed, or... So I guess I've done... Yep, you've done good. Done good. Yeah, I mean, if you cheat once in a while, that's no big deal, but cheat less. That's what I have to tell you. And don't cheat on dead animals. I'm thinking about doing a grape fast. Now you got me smiling. Definitely a grape fast. I love that. But fear holds me back. Why, my dear one? Why does fear hold you back? Grapes are food. You're just eating one type of food. That's all it is. It's not a fast, really. We call it a fast because, to a person eating omnivorously, that looks like a fast, but not a fast. Fasting is water. This is a grape diet. You do just like the primates do. They eat one type of food if they're in the woods, and that's all that's available. That's all they eat. I also started the Hill OT about a month ago. I'd like to have a consultation with you, but trying to save up for that. Well, you know what? I'm giving as much as I can over this YouTube, so you don't need much. You can talk to Marcy or one of the other ones. They're a lot cheaper, and that'll take you right down the road too, honey. What can I do in the meantime? I heard you mention oils along with your lymph and kidney formulas and maybe a grape fast, but not sure if that's what I need since I don't know the condition of thyroid liver. You don't need to sit and wait till some medical doctor tells you the condition of your liver, the condition of your thyroid, to get ahead of the game. You know that by the time they tell you there's a problem, there's a problem. You already know he already gave you a hint there's a problem. Because one, the big problem, you had your gallbladder removed, that's in your face, and then your liver enzymes are elevated. Well, you don't have a gallbladder no more, so you can't blame the gallbladder. Well, you're going to blame the liver. Well, if you wait till they tell you you have a liver problem, he's already told you have a liver problem. So what are you going to do about it? You're going to deal with the cause of the problem, aren't you? You already know the cause of the problem, so what's your fear? What's your fear holding you back on the grapes? Look at all of us doing the grapes. I don't see any babies dying or anybody dying on grapes. It could be if you go on the grape diet, you'll get well. And if you get well, then that could be a different life for you. Some people don't want to get well because it changes their life. And I can't do anything about that one. I fixed this dentist son up real well. He lived on park benches and was a Jesus freak, talking about Jesus all the time and stuff. And Dad finally got him back in the States, and he was eating out of dumpsters and stuff. And I got him healthy and well, no more depression, no more bipolar, no more nothing. So I told him, I said, now you got a little apartment now. Your dad's going to buy you a little used car. You can go now and get you a job. You don't have to eat out of dumpsters. Remember I telling you that one? He says, why? I love eating out of dumpsters. And I said, thank you. I've done all I can. Thank you. See ya. That's all you can do. You reach the wall. That's it. So you want to dig in. Don't worry about nothing. Dig in. Roll your sleeves up, sweetheart. Get on this grape diet. Don't even go on a grape diet. Just eat a bunch of fruits, berries, and melons for the next several months, and you'll be fine. Go on that. Get on your herbal program. I like to, let's see where we are. All right, so thyroid. What brings down the thyroid? We always had this discussion on the last two videos about the thyroid and what brings thyroids down. Same thing that brings everything down. Does blood bring your thyroid down? If it brings your thyroid down, it's going to bring your brain down. It's going to bring your whole body down, right? It's not the blood. So what other system contacts every tissue in your body 4 times as much as the blood? the lymph system. It's the only other system in there. Everything else is cells and a little water. You might have some chemistry. Granted, like the one guy said, you might have some toxins in there, cytotoxins, neurotoxins. Yep, get them out. There's only one way to get these things out, and any type of safe type of thinking. Also, grandson is 9 years old and has had eczema since he was a baby. All right. Well, here's in your family tree. It's enough to say what's wrong with grandson. 9 years old. And this is classic. You see this all over the world. It's this little poor baby's lymphatic system. And you want to fix this little boy now. You don't want to have this. He's 9 years old. You want to fix this boy now before you have some serious learning and everything else type of problems here. So you know it's a lymph system. You know that this young man has his kidneys down, his adrenals down. He's 9 years old. That means he has them down more than anybody else in the family that's older than him, right? Right. So that's one thing you have to work on is this young man's kidneys and adrenal glands. So 9 years old, you can give him some herbs. So I'd have him on, 2 kidney formulas, an adrenal formula. I'd have him on at least 1 lymphatic formula. And just because I know what's up, I'd have him on upper circuit brain and nerve for a while, particularly brain and nerve, number 2. I definitely would. But you can use the skin formulas, you can whatever, but this is a lymphatic problem. And you can fix this well. And you want to fix this young man now. This is sad stuff. You don't want this to go on and on and on and on and on. Because this same lymph system is in his brain, it's in his eyes, it's in his heart, it's in his lungs, it's everywhere. So you don't want this boy to have cancer and end up in St. Jude's where it's a slaughterhouse. You don't want anything like that. My own personal opinion. You don't have to kill babies to try to get them well. God, the whole thing is just so... Damn. Ugh. Would he'll all T be okay even if he's not on raw foods? Get him on raw foods. Have your daughter or son view this video, but you don't want this young man. This can cause them a lot of problems in the future, this poor young man, and the poor young man himself. You want to take care of this now, because this is the sewer system, this is the lymph system, and it means that it also means that his thyroid is probably down too. Oh, you were mentioning your thyroid, were you? Mm-hmm. I encouraged my daughter I thought it was your daughter, to change their diet, and skin cleared up some, but they went back to bad diet. Isn't that funny? You get them on a good diet, skin clears up, they put them on a back diet, and then his skin's back again. Is there something wrong with this picture? But that's what I'm saying. That's mind. The mind works in habits and grooves. And it's hard to break out of them unless you become more conscious, more awake. Now you're seeing your mind in grooves. But before then, you're lost in the grooves. You're lost in the drama. You're lost watching the show and participating in the show. Pull back from the show, and you're like the person in the theater that's done watching the movie. Ah, good movie. I got lost in it for a while, and now I'm awake again. 11-year-old granddaughter has dandruff too. All right. Now, dandruff. What is it telling you? See, you don't want to see dandruff, because dandruff, that's your lymph sewage oozing out your head. See how it's white flaky stuff? That's your lymph. Now, leave that dandruff on the scalp for a week and see what happens to the scalp. Get a little red. That's because that's all acidic. And that has to come out. And that's in this little girl's brain, and she's only 11 years old. So you know what you can do to get this out of this. Children, you have to work on your children, your grandchildren. And try to get your daughter in online and that. They can watch these videos, but it's to their advantage and the children's advantage in every way possible. The parents, that they don't lose their child to some real serious problem, because the system they have down is the lymph. All the cancers are of the lymph. See where I'm going? All the pain, all the suffering is from the lymph. So if you don't fix this, and they're this young, they're headed to Hellville quick. Especially if they're not on raw and they're eating neon-colored food and drinks and stuff like that. Kids are going down fast. So you want to fix these kids of yours. Ah, pretty woman. Pretty woman you are. This can't. You got grandbabies 11 years old and 9 years old, and you look this young? That's pretty good. That means you might have some good genes, dear one. Ooh, that sounds good to me. Take a look at your eyes. Take a look at your grandchildren's eyes. Have fun with this. Educate your daughter and your son-in-law and these sort of things, and get everybody happy and fixing things. Sure makes, and tell them that Santa said it's vital that you do that. I watched, what was it, Tim Allen's Santa Claus 2. He had to get married or he was going to not be Santa anymore. Right, you can see the funky film that was. But still, you know, I love Christmas because it opens the heart of people and they're happy and they give. I like to be Santa all 365 days a year, don't you guys? More fun. Hi, Doc. I hope you're doing well. God bless. Thank you, Mooch. I have mailed you before 2-3 times, but I didn't even rely. This. I want to especially see you, but I can't because I live very far. That's okay. We can talk this way. I know you have talked about vitiligo many times, but I have some confusions. You told about pituitary. How can I work on pituitary? Please tell me, and which type of fruits can I have? Doctors say that vitamin C rich fruits I can't have because vitamin C reduces the melanin. Please tell me which. Oh my God. You know what? If I was you, I would say this. I would not believe in anybody that can't cure it. So anybody that can't cure you of vitiligo, then the things they say, I'm not sure I would believe because they can't cure you. So you want to get in there and get the melanin going, but you have to get up to the pituitary to do this. So upper circumbrain nerve for a couple of reasons. But I also would use either the endocrine gland formula, the pituitary herbals first, and get up in there. But now, if you do have a pituitary problem, for you guys, I'll give you a little test. What 2 things might you want to consider? What's number 1? Transverse colon. All right? Now, only you guys that have had iridology and can know that. So I would not expect you guys, other than me mentioning it in videos, to know that. But when we get into the iris work, we show you that you can't have a pituitary problem without a bowel problem. This transverse bowel controls the condition of the head. Believe it or not. And you can, once you see thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of eye pictures, you can really see that. So it's enough to say that there's another problem, transverse bowel problems. Now, if the pituitary is down, you can have genetics there, but if you do, that means the lymph system is even more involved. But what brings pituitaries down? The same thing that brings livers down, gallbladders down, the same thing that brings hearts down, same thing that brings the eyes down, the same thing that brings the knees down. That's acidosis. You got to realize acids destroy. They burn, they agglomerate, they make hard, they destroy. And that's whether it's your pituitary gland, your thyroid, it doesn't matter location, because acids don't care. They're not of the mindset to care. So you have to care. So you're going to look at that. You're going to look at the condition of your head, see where your lymph system is. You're definitely going to go where to fix this problem. Kidney and adrenals and the lymph system again. Now you can use upper circulation to drive oxygenated blood up into the pituitary, hypothalamus area. You could also use brain and nerve to try to excite the neurons, absolutely. You can use glandular pituitary, so that'll wake it up. You do all these sort of things. But all in all, you also systemically don't want to be acidic because that does not help the melanin. Acids is what changes the picture of all these things, not vitamin C, although I have to say, they might be right a little bit. How so? Ascorbic, thank you. Acid. But fruits don't have ascorbic acid in them, right? Fruits, berries, and melons, they don't have vitamin C in them. They don't have ascorbic acid in them, do they? What do they have? Flavonoids. Vitamin C is of the flavonoid complex and is buffered in the flavonoid complex. And you want the flavonoids. That's essential for healthy arteries, healthy eyes. Flavonoids, they're the magics. Fruits, berries, and melons, flavonoids. So you got to have them. So you don't want to listen to those that can't cure anything or tell you what causes anything. You want those that do. So I have to say this. Work on the things that I told you. Get on a raw food diet. Regenerate your body. Regenerate your body. You'll start to see your melanin come back. Done many times. So you want to see that done. Day by day. Yeah, day by day. And I tell you, and it will day by day, because every day you live, your body's producing acid waste. And so if your lymph isn't filtering, every day you're throwing piles of acids into your sewer system that's not moving. More into the sewer system that's not moving. So then you start to swell. You get stiff, tight. You start to see your lymph nodes swell. You start to see boils and pimples. You see what I'm saying? That's how simple this system is. Okay. It's increasing on our whole body. Please tell me the solution. Plus, pay attention towards my mail. This time I will be very thankful to you. God bless you. You're welcome. Anytime. But go for the full body work. Don't just try to address the pituitary gland, because you would be off point. You want to be on point and address systemic issues. And that's going to the kidneys, the adrenal glands, cleaning up the GI tract, getting the skin to sweat, which if you have to go to the thyroid, you go to the thyroid. Open up your doors and start cleaning, alkalizing, and that'll start the regenerative process. That's all it takes. It just takes a little time and the right focus, honey. But don't, when medical doctors say crap like that, look through it. Hi, Doc Morse. I have been listening to many of your videos and just want to thank you for... Oh, thank you, Marie. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. I really do. I try to get them out to you as much as I can, guys. I do. There's so many things going on here, and then... if I don't get a little workout in my gardens, I go crazy. I got to have some grounding sometime here. So I have to get out and work outside, because I'm an outdoor man. I'm not an indoor man. I wasn't born indoors. I'm born outdoors, and this is a stretch for me to live indoors. So I got to have my outdoor time. Oh. I'm glad. I appreciate that. If I can make this as simple as I can get it, please let me do that, because this is simple to understand. Might be a journey to go on, but it's simple to understand. And we need simplicity in our world today. We're trying way too hard. We're trying to beat our children into calculuses before they get 10 years old. My grandson is in like a geometry class, and he's not even 11 yet. It's like, what? Then you got the Common Core, and it's like, oh my God. Well, they'll see what's going on. Yep. Education is going to have a big change here on this planet. You'll see. It's coming. So I appreciate that. This individual's French and would like to ask you an advice about my mom. Alrighty? Profile. She's a 78-year-old female, chronic bronchitis and permanent backache, osteoporosis on its way. Agree. What could I possibly do to help her recover her long-lost health? With deepest regards and kind, Marie. Marie, tell you it's not difficult. She's 78 years old. Possibility of someone like that having pretty good genes. It's up there. So just in the fact they've had 78 years on this rock, their kidneys and bowels and everything need refurbished, irregardless of filtering or not filtering. So you want to refurbish your mum. And so you refurbish with the fruits and the berries and the melons. They turn on. They're active. That's why you see so many symptoms when you go on them. If you don't want to see those symptoms, back down, back down. But they don't have the cleansing effect when you back down. But some of you need to go slower. So get her energized. Get her on raw foods. It doesn't have to all be fruits, berries, and melons. Get her on some green drinks. Maybe a salad in the evening or something. But get her on some raw foods, which you have to do to fix this. Now, she has chronic bronchitis. If any of you have ever had bronchitis or pneumonia and you treated it, get ready to have it again. Get ready to have it again, because when you start detoxifying, some point in time you're going to have those symptoms again, because these are not diseases. This is mucus buildup in the bronchi or the lungs from mucus-forming foods. I don't know what to say about it. Some foods causes mucus because your body doesn't want them, and these are generally the proteins. But complex sugar can do the same thing. You can suck on a candy with complex sugar, sucrose, it'll cause you mucus. Complex chemistry is very mucus forming because it's too complex for the human body. Human body is very simplistic, believe it or not. It doesn't like complex foods. Not at all. We're not complex in that way. I don't think many of the animals are, to be honest with you. Animals, we eat totally different. We've got our whole world screwed up. But you can take the lungs number 2, and you could sip on the lungs 3 lung tea to help break up some of that mucus in the lungs. But when you have this bronchitis, you don't treat it. You want to have it. At the same time, you're on raw foods, that'll help. You're on the herbs, you're on the kidneys and adrenals and the lymphatics. All these herbs you want to be on. It'll help start to pull some of this down to the kidneys the way it should be. So your detox through the lungs will be minimal, but they will be, because there's no way you can stop doing this. You have to clean this out, then you're done. No more bronchitis ever. But if you don't, and you keep suppressing these symptoms, it just gets worse each time. And then as you get older, here's this little O2 on, a little COPD diagnosis. You want to do that. You want to clean this out. At the same time, you're strengthening kidney and adrenals. You're strengthening the neurological system to the lungs and bronchi, but you're also cleaning the whole body that way. And this is a 78-year-old woman, should be able to clean her up really nice. The permanent backache, that's only going to be gotten as soon as you get rid of the bronchitis. And this could be right at the back. If it's her upper thoracic spine, maybe low C's, it's all from her lungs. And you want to get this out of there, because she could have a mass in the lungs. You don't know what she's got in her lungs unless she's had an MRI or something. But moving that lymph will pull that ache right out of her back. And also, you want to think about the parathyroid gland in the near future after that to rebuild that spine. Because you can't fix the back until you fix the lungs. Now, if this is lower, an L4, L5 area, then it's her kidneys you have to fix. You have to fix the organs and glands before the back will fix itself. In other words, you got to go backwards that way. You can't fix the back and have a highly acidic organ or gland sitting there. It regurgitates backwards. So fix that up, Marie, and you'll be good. Really good. Absolutely. Or your mom will. I like fixing up people, don't you? Wow, there's so many questions. I just wish I had. There's just so many questions. I just have so much little time. Well, we'll keep plowing. I don't know if this is a brand new state-of-the-art camera, so we'll see. Hi there, my name is Brian, and I have a question about root canals. Are they bad to have? You know what? God dang it. You know what? There's always something bad about everything. There's no question. But you live in a world where you got to have your teeth. You just got to have your teeth. If you don't have your teeth, then life isn't fun. And for you guys losing your teeth, you got to stop losing your teeth. But you have to fix your lymph system before you can stop losing your teeth and your gums. Don't forget the gums, the jawbone itself, all of that goes. But if you have to have a root canal, you make sure they only fill it with calcium citrate or some form of calcium, not any other type of chemistry in there. Because my dentist told me the reason the root canals went bad was the type of chemistry that American doctors were using. And of course, I guess they didn't realize the tooth is cells. Just because you remove a nerve doesn't mean you remove the tooth or the blood or lymph to that tooth. Now, if they all follow that root up in there, yeah, you're going to remove the blood, lymph flow out of the tooth and everything. So it's just a matter of time till the tooth goes bad. But what else you going to do? You can pull it and put an implant. You can pull it, and even the zirconian implants, I don't know. So I don't know what to tell you. I can just tell you that I've had many of them in my life, and none of them have gone bad on me. I've not had one, and I've had probably 10 root canals in my life, just because my family's lymph. But not one of them has ever went bad on me. So, but I've cleaned my lymph system. So you have to understand that people that are not cleaning their lymph system and they're just fixing their tooth by the dentist hasn't done anything to fix the cause of the tooth problem, and therefore the cause is still there and they can have the tooth then go ahead and deteriorate. You have to fix your lymph system even if you have a root canal or whatever. It's your lymph system is why you have to have all these things. It isn't your blood flow. See what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I mean, if you have to have them, you have to have them, because life without teeth is not fun. I deal with all the older people. Thank God I'm not one. And if they don't have teeth, they can't chew. You can't chew, you don't eat right, you have to puree your foods. I mean, it's just not fun. Not a fun life anymore. Teeth are, body parts are nice to have. I mean, God did plan it up good. Would it ever be humanly possible to regenerate the tooth back? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't know from a root canal. I don't know that. I can't tell you from that. A tooth that's breaking down, absolutely. We've seen it many, many times with a simple filling. But a root canal, I can't tell. I've never seen anything like that. It'd be wild. It'd really be wild, and I couldn't imagine why not. But I don't know. Again, I don't know. I would love. Here's another research we could have. Get someone way out there on root canals and let's see. I know your fillings will start popping as your enamel grows, and medical doctor, or dentist, you can't regrow. Oh, yes, you can. Oh, yes, you can. There are recorded cases of third sets of teeth, by the way. 3 sets of teeth. God, would that be cool? Be like a shark. What does a root canal have in store for me? High raw vegan cooked at night. Thank you so much. I don't think so bad. Like I said, I've had a bunch and never had a problem with it. But again, if you fix your lymph system and you just have a calcium substance in there, you should be quite good for a long, long time. But you want to fix why the root canal. Again, the same thing. You want to fix why you have these problems. And why is always going to lead you down the world of acids and the lymph system and all that. Hey, Drew?
Yes.
How do you turn off this beast?
How do you turn off the beast? Hold on a second, I'll be right there.
Okay. I don't even know how to turn this beast of a camera off. Let me just get another one before he comes down here. Dear Dr. Morse, so grateful to find you and your crew. All makes perfect sense, and I'm walking in the right direction to Wellville. Yeah. My question. I had severe morning sickness during both my pregnancies called Hyper Emesis, whatever that last name is, Gravidaruik or something. Holy moly. I can't even say the name.
Close. You're close.
I was close.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jerry. Let's see. Farm boy. Yeah, and would like to hear why some women get very sick during the whole pregnancy and during the whole day and night. That all has to do with the lymph systems and their guts and all that, absolutely. Neurological weakness, gut weakness, toxicity, absolutely, especially lymph toxicity, oh my God. And the toxemia levels during pregnancy can be horrible. There's all kinds of horrible levels. This is why a good, clean, healthy woman, we were just talking about that today, talking about it with a chiropractor, how women lose their periods when they're raw foods. If I was a woman, I wouldn't want a period. I wouldn't want to have no periods. I would want to be healthy and have healthy children. I mean, that'd be what you'd want. As a mama and a suffering child, or your mama has to go take a trip to St. Jude's, can you imagine the heart of that mother? God, horrible. That's why it's so important to fix yourself now and your children now instead of waiting. But you clean yourself and detox yourself, you won't get sick. You won't have your morning sicknesses like this. Get into your lymph system more. Make sure your GI tract is cleaned up. Make sure your adrenals are up, your nervous system strong, and you never have a problem. My weakest spot would be my kidneys, although I'm now much better. Good woman. Healing from years of constant stress. Thank you, Lisa from Sweden. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you, every one of you. I love each and every one of you. We'll be back hitting again. And Santa says, have a fun night. Have a fun week. And we love you. Thank you so much for spending your time here. And remember, be here now. Live in the now. Bye-bye.